favorite.
So I got some.
Like that.
The what?
I have some spin downs. Could I use that for life, or is that a no?
Life?
Spin down.
You
Go for it.
Life?
I mean, I'm gonna be dying.
I don't think you'll die this.
I mean, you can
That's
update
what
it on
you
your
think.
thing because
I mean, you guys could pick fights.
I could slap him to heal him again.
Got like.
Hopefully no miss. That's
Hopefully.
what I'm here for.
I don't have combat, but it always seems to happen.
Don't worry, the dog is small.
That's what it
I'm pretty
I
sure
know.
Oreo's small. I could be very wrong.
Maybe
I think
Oreo
Oreo-
thinks he's big.
it's actually
Oh,
just,
yeah, probably.
it's actually just an illusion.
He barks a lot when you leave. That's when he gets really tough.
Or
He's
when
actually
you
the
enter.
size of Bentley.
Big. Let's see. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay,
Abby and I
so
were
we
making
did
faces
that
at each other.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Ready?
to sort my dice.
Understandable. Oh no. Alright, so you all start your second morning at the school. Some of you wake up a little earlier than
Yeah.
others. So anybody who is elf or half elf or any of those kinds that just need meditation. You wake up after just a few hours of rest. Are you going to stay in your room for a while, James, or sorry, Elizabeth, or are you gonna go go get breakfast?
Prime time to get breakfast. Hopefully people aren't awake.
Well, all right. I think you're the only one that only needs 4 hours. So you head downstairs to the cafeteria and just kind of mostly spread out. There are basically elves and half elves that are awake. You see most of them are very pale. There are a few that are very tan, and then there's one that's one of the teachers. You can tell by stature and all that. That's almost purple. He's gray, but he's a drow, so his skin is very dark and sunlight's not always the same. So he's sitting alone at a table, just right over here, facing everybody, so that he can see most of the people in the room.
That's good.
And then there are the rest of the elves. You see the two of the other elves, those two that Owen decided to, or not Owen, Shump decided to sit with and get pushed off of the seat by
He
yesterday.
decided to sit with me.
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't decide to sit with
You
them.
sat at their table, how dare you. So they're sitting there together. There are a few others that are just spread out. They're all tired because it's morning, you know how teenagers are.
I do?
Yes.
I don't
Oh.
think.
So you head over to where you normally grab your food, and it seems like this lunch lady goes all out every time she makes a meal. There's full-on like Belgian waffles that are like an inch thick. There's bacon, there's fresh syrup, there's everything you could dream of for breakfast.
I hope there's not everything I can dream of.
Every normalized breakfast food that you could dream of.
Normalized for whom?
I'm assuming you're going to sit alone and all that.
Obviously. It's the old table as that's still available.
Yes.
So, I'm assuming after you eat, are you going to keep to yourself and stay there? Are you going to go to the
Can I
library?
check the library again?
Alrighty. What are you
Find
going
that
for?
book. The book on goblins.
You're going to go look
I'll
for
find
goblins
it.
again? Alright, go ahead and roll
What kind?
investigation.
Okay. 20. Not natural.
You definitely find a book that is, the title is just goblins.
And couldn't find it last time.
No, you couldn't. This time you immediately find the section that's stuff like that.
Probably happens.
Right. It's like a labyrinth up there.
Yeah.
So you find it pretty quickly, and I'm assuming you'd sit down and read it.
Yeah.
Alright. You're gonna just stay there until you feel like everybody else is waking up.
Might as well stay there a bit longer.
Alrighty.
Soak in the details.
Alrighty, so at about 7:30, every student hears in their head, 7:30, you may all come out of your rooms if you aren't already. Please go ahead and get ready for classes or come for a very quick breakfast before your class starts at 8. You will be notified 5 minutes before your class starts. Anyway, so what are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna go eat breakfast.
Alright. So you see the same thing, except there are more people coming down. There are food coming down since then. The half-orc that's in your class is already down there, and he's got his trumpet out. He's just holding it, looking, and he sees you come in and just and then puts it back down, and there are a lot of people glaring at him because they just woke up. He's laughing. And then, Drew, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll go grab something to eat.
I tried.
Alright.
On the way, I just list off a bunch of facts about cats that I learned from the book.
Well, Doran is
I kind of just looked down. Yes, those are correct. Where did you ever find
I
all
read
this
a book.
information?
I'm not sure if you were here for this. I went to the library and I got a terrible score, and all I found was a book about cats.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what happened last session. It was beautiful.
Awesome.
Alright. So, basically everybody's downstairs at this point. People are either eating or they're just sitting at their tables conversing. Most of the first years are over where you guys were the day before for homeroom. And the second years are mostly over on the other side, just in their spots because they know, well, if I sit here, I don't have to move. So they're going ahead and they're sitting in those spots. The third and fourth years pretty quickly end up getting up and leaving and heading to their first classes. So at about 8:50, 8:55, it would be. You guys here. All right, I recommend that you head to your classes if you have not already. All that. Take care of your garbage, please. If you're eating in the cafeteria, we don't need to give our wonderful janitor more work than he already has.
Who would do such a
Especially
thing?
after what I heard happened yesterday.
I avoid eye contact.
Oh no, you're just hearing this in your head.
Oh, okay.
Everyone just hears it.
I kind of just looked
No,
at
I
it.
still do. Entire lunchroom just.
Shame.
Trying not to get in trouble today. Nice to have him walk with us.
Alright. So everybody's filing out, getting to their spots, cleaning up. The janitor comes up and sees there's like food on the floor, so he's sweeping, and then your homeroom starts. It's basically the same as the day before. He reminds you all of when your classes are again, and like what order. He reminds you all that instead of having history today, you will have your class on beasts. So, and then he's making comments about, have any of you gone and read anything about the goblins like I mentioned? And there's some.
Me.
Yeah. Are you gonna do anything or?
No, that's spooky.
No, you're not gonna acknowledge it. All right. You see, he's standing like pretty close to the middle, but you can see like second years on the other side look over and they're like, yeah, even though they're not gonna be in that same class. They just kind of read all the
Are
comments
there
anyway.
people around me who did?
In your group, probably not.
But no.
There was one that there was a chance she would have, but she didn't. You know, day one, you don't want to go socialize
Obviously not.
immediately. Nobody would do that ever.
Never.
Panic.
The homeroom quickly finishes, and then he sends you all off to your classes, which it's basically the teachers going through and they're teaching you. They're giving you pointers, acting as if some of them are acting like you're basically 5. Others, like Shane's teacher, are treating you like you're adults. You guys can do this on your own. You know about your deities, so go ahead and just sit there at the little benches at the side, and you guys get to just pray, speak to your deities, or meditate for yourselves.
Great.
There's no textbook for anything, so that you guys are all in your classes.
I did not want to listen to
I
this
get
guy.
a thing?
You all get one. It's basically just your teacher, like a little description
Oh, sweet.
of their appearance, and then most of your classmates.
Oh, awesome.
So it's their names and then what year they are, what race they are. I don't have a description for all of them, like their physical appearance, but I will have one eventually, because I have a copy of each of those
he's a
note
lot
cards.
older than I thought he was. Kind of. Not really, no.
These are gonna know.
Wait, someone in my class is a goblin?
Yes.
That would be awkward. Child children.
She's the one that helped the teacher find you all in the day before's
That's it.
class. That helps the teacher. Yes, Drew, it will be awkward. As goblins aren't absolutely adored, but they're not absolutely hated unless they're causing a problem. So then,
Somewhat.
after your classes, you're getting more familiar with your classmates. Maybe you don't immediately remember their name because there's people and they're new. But now you have that, so if you ever need a certain classmate, you can come. You go to lunch. It's basically the same as the day before. You guys, are you sitting all together since now you've met, or are you going to try and sit in the same table you tried last same table? All right.
I'm going to move over to Chop's table.
All right. So,
I ask Owen wants to join me.
I'll go with them.
and are you going to
I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion on every other chair at my table.
in every other chair?
Yeah, to make it look like there isn't that chair there.
Also, he forbids me from getting any dirty looking food.
No, get whatever you want. I'm not in control of you.
Just don't be a pain about
I
it.
need to see it.
Just expect you to,
So, if they make the least.
Yeah. So, at all the tables, it's kind of like a park bench. How there's like one side of it that's connected. It's connected in the middle, but you're all probably sitting over in this corner that's way over here. So you're away from people. This is where that group is going to sit. The group of 4 in your class that are very, obviously they're rich and everything, they're all wearing white again.
oh, wonderful.
They all come and they walk right up to your table. They get about to here, beside this table that you guys were at last time. They look at you and and then turn and sit at that table. Every so often you guys are getting glares like, they sat at our table, how dare they? That's our table.
I take out, latest from one of my claws and just kind of start scratching into the table to see if it does anything at first. Does it?
Okay. At first it makes a little tiny divot and then it just kind of seems to smooth back over and stops.
Never mind.
So, what are you guys going to be doing for your lunch? Are you just
Dagger by chance. You
I'm just,
have a dagger by chance.
I do.
No?
Oh yeah. I hand you one of my 2 daggers.
I just stabbed him.
Thunder!
Alright, roll for attack.
Breaks the table.
15.
Alright. It slams into the table and just makes, like, the point just kind of barely dents. And then you pull it out and it's
I
back
leave
over.
it there. I want to see
You're
what
gonna
it
leave it
says.
there? It just kind of stays for about a split second and then just clanks onto the table. The divot just completely smooths over.
Well, that's not what I wanted to happen. Oh well.
Alright.
We'll find a new way to claim this table as our own.
And now start telling the cat facts to Sean while we eat. Until
I'm ignoring him. Just eating. Alright.
I didn't get to ask you yesterday. Did I learn anything noteworthy about the goblins for when we fight them?
Basic things about goblins, which it's all stuff I'm going to say in a little bit. So I'm not going to say it all now.
Now we just have knowledge early.
Yeah, you just know it a little earlier.
Yes.
You know they're sneaky boys.
Thanks.
Or they try to be. Alright, so lunch goes by pretty smoothly. Those 4 guys in your class that are all very rowdy are being pretty rowdy again, but they're not chugging milk this time. Instead, they're chugging water. Because it's probably a safer bet.
Probably.
It's the same one chugging. His name was Jared.
Jared.
Did you succeed?
This time, let's find out.
This is vital.
Alright, one moment. I need to open his character sheet.
That doesn't sound good.
It doesn't,
Dies.
it's not that bad.
He drowns.
Just gonna choke a little bit.
That would be a feat.
Oh no, he's fine.
No.
School strikes him with
He
lightning.
seems like at the end, he coughs a little bit, and like a little bit of water comes out of his mouth, but he swallows it and he just looks at him, yeah! And they all just start cheering at each other. That's about it. There's just a little bit of water down his shirt, and that's, other than that, he's perfectly fine. He didn't fail too badly at that. He has a +3 to his con. Alright, so the rest of lunch goes by smoothly. Most people are calm, and then you're all told, again, just in your heads, you hear, alright, now it is time for your next class. You can go to your Beasts class. For your first years, you will be in the Rangers classroom, which
Okay.
is on
I will never get used to that.
is on the 6th floor, and you guys were on the 8th for the
I
cafeteria.
mean, I have to go even lower than the 7th.
Yep.
So,
So, Owen is very familiar with coming down to this floor. He's on the same side, or on the same floor. This time you guys are coming over to this side. The classroom's very bright. There are 4 desks just lining one wall. On the other side there are 4 like training targets. So they would just line up and then shoot at it. Instead, the Drow Ranger teacher that Elizabeth saw sitting in there with everybody this morning, he is sitting on the desk in the corner, which is all the way over here. He's sitting there behind it, sitting obnoxiously tall, like straight, as if he's been waiting, ready for you all to sit. He's excited to teach the class. I'm not doing a
How
voice
many
for
chairs
him.
are in here?
There are only 4 desks, but he just kind of has everybody sitting on the floor, like all along here, and then the training dummies are pushed against the wall.
Cool.
So some people are sitting way in the front, and this is only your year, so it's just the first years. Alrighty. Are you guys all sitting in the back?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the back.
Yeah. James?
wherever can be away from people.
Alright, so you're all sitting in the back, I just.
Yes, I'm with that.
Alright. So the 4 rich kids, let's call them that, they're sitting at the front. They're all very ready. They didn't want to sit on the floor because they're wearing white. Why would they sit on the floor? They're just going to get dirty. But they do it begrudgingly. Most of them are like sitting on their knees, like with their legs against, so that they aren't having their white clothes right against the floor. Like, they're being over dramatic about it. The girl is sitting like with her legs sideways. Yeah. So it's modest and everything, and she's very careful about it. She didn't care nearly as much as they did about the dirt, as if she's used to this or something. Yeah, so you guys are sitting there and he starts talking. I'm not doing a voice because Stephen will be doing it eventually. My name is Mr. Hicks, and I am actually the ranger teacher, but I will be teaching you guys about beasts on most Tuesdays and Thursdays of the week. So today, as day 1 of this beautiful class, we're going to talk about goblins. Now, some of you... Yes?
But this is a beasts class.
Yes, but we were told we should tell you about these because one of the first things you guys are going to have to encounter is goblins. And we want you to be prepared.
Understood.
There has been a goblin problem in the city, very close to us, that they just keeps getting attacked. We have more defenses at the edges so that they aren't getting in and anything, stealing things, stuff like that. We have defenses on the ground, just trying to deter them. So they've been attacking less often, but they're still there and they're still a threat. If we lower our defenses, they'll attack. They tend to like to swarm hunting parties that go out, so we've been telling people to go in bigger groups, stuff like that. We've been sending a few scouts out every so often, so we have a view of their encampment. You'll be able to see that on Thursday. We'll take our guests a little field trip so that you guys may all see it from a safe place. But yes, we have extra defenses for them for now, but soon enough we will be going over there to give some of you first years some extra training and practice so that you can get a little used to combat and help out the town. There, you won't just be you. I'll be there. There will be a few other teachers just to make sure you're all safe. He then starts talking about goblins in general, how they try to be sneaky. They travel in like a group and they will swarm one enemy, just stuff like that. They want to take them out one by one, stuff like that. And yeah, he shows you all just this painting that he just kind of unrolled. It wasn't in a frame, of just a goblin. He goes, for some reason, this was in our library, and I found it and decided to show you. So here is our painting of a goblin, and then he sets it down and pulls up another one, and here is ours of, just a sketch, I guess, a drawing of what we think the goblin cabinet looks like, just our guess, while also going up to the top of the tree and giving a good look. And he just starts very tightly rolling them back up gently, stuff like that, and he's looking around looking to see if anybody has questions. Any of you gonna ask anything? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Have we sent emissaries to see if they, could be reasoned with?
We did send one small group to talk with them, and the moment they got within 20 feet of the gates of the goblin encampment, they were immediately swarmed and attacked and almost killed.
That's great.
Right. And I will tell you,
Everything's been tried.
not all goblins are civilized, but some are. We do actually have a student who is a goblin. She's very sweet. She's a 4th year. She is trusted. She will not be helping with this just purely for her own safety, as she did come from this group. She is okay with what we are doing. We have talked to her to make sure it's okay with her. Because, we want our students to be comfortable.
No
Right.
one's civilized.
She understands, and she has very much learned how to speak common like us, to understand and to speak with them. But they did not want to listen to her. She went with that embassy and they almost killed her. Because she left and joined the humans. He just sits back in his desk a little bit more and he's still looking for questions, and the richest of those rich 4, the girl just kind of, well, my dad said that we need to just get rid of them because they're not good. He's like, well, your father, and then one of the beefy brothers goes, who's your dad anyway? He's the king. Of course. He knows what's right. So obviously we just need to get rid of all of them because they're all a problem.
But does he know what's left?
The ranger teacher immediately shushes them and, see, I have a very different opinion in the fact that lives do matter and we don't want to just murder everyone because they're a different race that we don't think that you might not think is able to communicate on the same level as us.
I look panicked because I realized I chucked the thing of spaghetti at the king's daughter.
I was waiting for you to realize that. I've had it written that she was the king's daughter for like 4 months, and then this happened, and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful.
Interesting.
How is the king perceived by the majority of the populace?
A lot of people love the king. They don't agree on most of his policies because, like, he has foreign policies that he's not great with, like with other continents, because there are 3 others. He just kind of is rude to them, and he isn't good at foreign relations, like, at all.
Beautiful.
He is not very understanding with, like, goblins and such stuff like that, or being accepting about that. So, like, Drow are accepted, but he isn't a fan of them, so he doesn't like the ranger teacher, stuff like that. Like, he wouldn't like anyone of that race. He's okay with closer to peaceful.
Genocide?
Yeah,
Cool.
kind of.
I don't like it.
Whatever he has to
Oh, a lot of
love
people
them.
don't. But people love him for the charisma that he gives, basically. That's all. That's all it's good about. Right. He's been king for quite a long time, too, so a lot of people they're very used to it. And the fact that he is an elf means he's been alive for a very long time, and so many people know about him that.
You know that thing you did yesterday? Which is beginning.
Maybe.
Go ahead and do it again.
All right. And they're all the way at the front, so.
Something's wrong.
She didn't hear that. She rolled very poorly on her perception. Yeah.
I wasn't saying it quietly. Not probably quiet enough that the people like the teacher wouldn't have heard, and the people in the front would have heard, but people around me. I wasn't trying to.
Yeah,
hide
one of the
fact
twins
I was
hears you
saying.
and just kind of looks back, smirks a tiny bit, looks at her, and then gets angry. But he doesn't say anything. He just looks back at the
Slowly
teacher.
scoot away from him.
Come on, you've got a paladin in your group. It can't be okay with genocide, man.
Literally, my tenets are maintain life. That is my religion.
Yes. Proud. So he talks to you guys about that. That's the only class that I'm gonna specify about today because that's
Supposedly
life.
it's non-violent protesting.
You guys then after this class, like he does talk about how they're very common in forests and grasslands, stuff like that, and like hills, and a lot of outside of the town is forest and grasslands. The goblins there's like a line of forest, and then on the other side there are grasslands that they live in. And it's a pretty open area for them, but there are a few trees like sporadically throughout that. So he finished the class after a little bit, after dealing with people arguing about the beliefs on preservation of life and such. And you all then head to your training time. It's basically the same thing as the last time. The teachers, it's the same once again. You have the rogue teacher and the wizard teacher. They're again encouraging people to stay in their groups since it seems like everybody's already in their groups. While you guys are there, you see there's a group of second years that none of them are up close or like anywhere near the targets. One of them has a staff, one just has a wand, one has an orb, and the other just has basically a stick. It's just a bunch of wizards. There are 4 wizards in one group. And they're all casting at the same target. They're doing some damage, they're doing well, but then one of the groups beside them, other second year class, there's 2 really big beefy guys, there's somebody with a huge bow, and there's a guy that has leather armor and very messy hair, and he just looks at him and he goes, "Why don't you hit the target?" And they're just sitting beside, they're all sitting on the ground, they're not doing anything. They're just there, watching this group of wizards, and that bard is just sitting there, just picking on them every time they miss. No, the target's there. Here, I'll move these 2 targets together so you guys can hit them. And they're still missing every so often, they hit like right in between them or right above the head, stuff like that. Finally, one of the wizards, he just turns at them, and he casts something to do damage. It hurts the bard, but then the bard just kind of starts laughing, and one of the teachers comes over and starts scolding all of them, separating them, stuff like that. The group of 4 wizards just, "May we leave, please?" It's one of the guys, there's 3 guys and 1 girl, they're all just kind of arguing about it, like, alright, we're leaving, and they just kind of walk out, they're done with it, they don't want to deal with the bard anymore. So that group then takes over 2 targets, and they push them a little closer, they start hitting them. Eventually some of the teachers start telling classmates, alright, like of the second and above, they can start dueling each other, just to get more combat training, preferably to stay with somebody in your class, so they have a little more combat. The 4th years, they do like 1 round of sparring, and then all of them leave. Because they don't have to be there, they don't have to stay. 3rd years stay for like an hour or so, and then they leave. So this class lasts an hour and a half, so there's about half an hour where it's just 1st and 2nd years all dueling, stuff like that. 1st years are still working with the training dummies, the 2nd years are doing a little bit of comment together, a little bit of training dummies, stuff like that. So then there's supper afterwards, that I'm assuming you all probably go to supper. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Drew, are you going to sit?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all go to supper, so we can sit at the same table.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
people.
gonna do the
Alright.
same exact thing I did.
Alright.
They won't sit near me if they can't see the chairs.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand. Let's see if they notice you do this. And then you guys all three roll perception.
I don't.
What's
I'm
perception?
just
18.
Yeah, it's in the
D20.
chart of skills. Yeah. Alright.
yeah.
16.
What do I
Plus-
add to that?
Oh.
Perception. Right.
Where's perception?
I have no idea.
That's 4, so that's a 14.
Where's perception?
Somewhere along
It
here.
should be an alphabetical
Yeah.
order. Perception.
Oh, okay. Minus 1. 15.
This was
No,
fun.
I rolled an 18.
You rolled 18. So what'd you roll?
I rolled a 14, so
Alright, so none of you see him do this. You all get over the table.
I walk
Oh,
past and I
and-
trip over
Not
something.
She's not doing it at the table we're at.
No.
Oh, you're not doing it there?
We're at.
Are you
It's
doing-
the one sitting at.
Yeah, he's still.
As I
Oh,
walk
you're
Except for
sitting
the
alone?
one chair. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
keep doing that.
So none of you see that.
So-
You just kind of go over to your other table alone. You don't even see Elizabeth for some reason. Like it's like she just disappeared. And you all sit down. There's some other people. Here, James, which table are you sitting at? Let me find
The
the.
table we sat at the first day.
Oh, you all sat.
We're the only ones that have.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we get there
So,
before the rich kids, we're.
The first day, you were over here, and then you guys all beat the rich kids because they walk slowly. So you guys, the three of you were over here. Elizabeth, you're over here, and some of the second years come over. It's not the table of wizards. It is. I don't care about that. Let's see. Let's decide which second year group this is gonna be.
I can see the edge of the book.
It's okay. There's not a full-on character sheet made. It's just drawn. Let's see. Yeah, it's the group that has that bard that was being a pain. So they're sitting at that table. They all come and sit down, and they're just kind of ignoring you. And then the bard just, "Hi, my name's Jack."
Hi.
All right, you're not much of the talking type, are you?
No. Please go away.
Well, we're gonna stay at this table, but we'll leave you alone. And he goes to the other side of the table, so there are three on one side, they're all kind of squished. And then the barbarian, this Goliath barbarian, is sitting on the same side of the table. He's taken up 2 spaces. He's man-spreading to the fullest extent he can. He's way slouched, like, he looks a foot shorter than he is because he's slouching so far. Like, his butt's almost off the seat, but he's eating, like, non-stop, as if nothing is filling him. One of, or the ranger, it's a girl, she's very tan, she sits down and she had like 5 plates, and she's skinny. She sits down, she takes 1 plate off the top, and then slides the tray of 4 plates back over to him, and just starts eating her 1 plate, very civilized, with just a salad.
Okay.
He's eating all of the other stuff. So by the end, there are like 12 empty plates at the table from all of them, and then you have your plate. Or plates. So there's just a stack of plates at the end of the table. They're all pretty peaceful. You guys all get to that same table again before the rich kids get up there. They see that there are only 3 of you, and they saw, like, during combat training, you guys all, the 4 of you were together. And they're sitting at that table right beside you again, but they're still glaring, and every so often one of them looks over at Elizabeth, and then they just kind of, why isn't she sitting with the, oh,
When they look over at me, I just tilt my place again. Just to let them know I have it.
The paladin then is the one that he sits the closest to you, just so that the king's daughter is in
What's
the
his
way. Aaron.
Deal. Aaron.
He sits right in between you and the queen's daughter, so that if it gets flung over, he can just kind of turn sideways and she doesn't get anything on her. Both the twins are on the other side of the table, and they just keep glaring at you guys. Like, the paladin doesn't seem to care that much. It was kind of a, oh, my friends are angry, so I'm gonna get angry.
That's not like a paladin.
He's oath of
Oh, my
vengeance.
goodness, what kind of
So, and they're all just, they're kind of there. The queen's daughter, or king's daughter, is just eating quietly and she's very small. She's like hiding behind the talisman because she feels like it's gonna happen again. The twins had told her about. They heard Shane say that, but they didn't think he would do it. Or they didn't think Owen would actually do it again. The twins see you tilt that plate. Just turn and look away and then start talking to each other again.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
Alright. What are you gonna say?
Is there enough space for me to sit down too?
There is, but it would be on the far side. So like, they're sitting right at the edge.
That's fine.
Alright.
Sit down. Alright, I'm gonna. Is this seat taken?
Which side are you on? With the twins or with?
Probably the twins.
Alright. Well, it would be if you sat there, but no, it's not at the moment.
Sit down.
Sure, why not? I'm not going to tell anyone they can't do something unless they're actually bothering us.
I don't have any food with me.
Okay.
I have a question for you, and look at the king's daughter. I have my issues with your father, and I was wondering if you held the same beliefs.
I mean, what else would I believe? There's not a lot that I've been told. I mean, really, it's how you grow up. If you grow up all your life and you're told there's one thing, you're probably going to believe that one thing.
Yes.
So, in a sense, yes, I do have the same belief as my father because I haven't been given a reason to not believe that.
Then I shall give you time to make up your own mind.
All right then.
If you do not change your mind about life and those around us, you will have made an enemy here.
Well, I have plenty of friends around me. But there may be a day when I do change my
I
mind.
look directly at Anne. Life is sacred.
He just kind of nods a little bit, like he agrees, but he's slightly intimidated by this tiny wizard right beside him. It's a little bit scary.
There is nothing that her father can do to you that your patron cannot.
You're right. And it's probably worth it to actually try and teach her a little bit.
I trust you. I stand up more.
Alright. He nods and the twins immediately. Why did he have to come over here? Alright, that was awkward. Well, now that he's over there. And one of them, the one that was closer to you, he's the sorcerer. He's draped in a robe that's all white with like gold on the edges. The other has all white with silver. He just kind of pulls a napkin like out of his pocket and starts wiping off the table where you were, and then putting it back in his pocket like.
My armor is spotless. Fine.
I have an intimidation of 2.
It's probably because you're.
Tiny elf just walks up.
Hey! Grr!
So then, aside from those, is there anything you guys are doing aside from that during supper?
Unless anything else happens, I finish the facts about cats. Just talk to Shump, who isn't paying attention.
Alright.
Not paying attention whatsoever, just eating. Completely ignoring you.
Elizabeth, you're just staying at that table with them. No? You're not going to stay at
Then
the
chip
table?
back to the room.
Alright. Alright, so most people start leaving as they finish your food. Once the entire group
My
finishes.
food.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in your conversation.
Everybody's eating off of your food.
Well, considering that Goliath.
Yeah, the Goliath
Anything
eating
since,
like 7 plates of food. Everybody's finishing their food slowly. People start getting up and going to their rooms. A few of the groups go up one floor and are back at combat training just for a little bit because it's kind of like an open gym thing. So they're up there doing that for another hour or so. Are you
What
guys?
floor is that on?
It's the floor right above this one. So floor 9. Because you guys are on
What
floor 8.
floor? What floor are the rooms on?
Depends on the room. It's kind of like a slanted hallway. It's up, but it's slanted hallways that branch out because it's in the big branches and trunks of the tree.
Yeah.
So it's less of floors and more of a very long hallway of classrooms or of bedrooms.
Yeah.
Are you guys all gonna go to your bedrooms after you're done eating, or are you gonna go train more?
I'm gonna go train more.
Alrighty.
I go show.
I'll head to the
I
library.
can't even lock the
Bonk
door.
some
just
dummies
there.
on the
She's
head.
supposed to go in.
Alright, so 2 of you are up there training. Would you like to role play any of that or no?
As we finish. So, you have a guitar there.
Yes.
I happen to play a little bit of music myself when I pull out my lyre. It's just a gold and silver, just kind of spun together with holly leaves up on the corner. Mind playing with me?
Why not?
I just start going.
Alright. If you like, you guys can both roll performance.
How is it?
Like a,
So
like
you-
a D20.
Yeah, you roll a d20 and then on there, somewhere around perception is performance. You're right above, or right below it.
Well, yeah.
9 plus 2.
I'm not amazing.
Would you?
14.
Okay.
No, 16, sorry. 16.
And Abby, what?
9 plus 2, so
Yeah,
11.
11.
Alright, what kind of tune are you guys playing? Are you playing
I
something
just start playing something soft and
Alright.
slow.
kind of like listening
Yes.
to piano music?
Dun, dun, dun,
As soon as
dun, dun, dun.
Define
she
playing.
starts, I'm going to start picking up with what she's doing.
Alright. So what kind of music are you playing? Are you playing very, very gentle, like piano kind of music? Are you playing something really jovial and obnoxious, like?
I guess.
Yeah, you're playing.
away.
So there's like really upbeat, like
I don't know.
something like that.
Yeah, kind of, I
Alright.
guess.
So you guys are up there, and you're in that training room. There's training dummies all along the wall, and it's huge. It's like a huge gym. And the only divider in there is just the stairwell. And there's a couple of groups in there that are training again. And one of the groups is, let me find them again. It's one of the 4th year groups. They're just kind of up there because they didn't want to be around people while they're training. They don't want to make the younger classes feel bad about themselves. But they hear you guys playing, and on beat is when they are hitting the training dummy or casting a spell, stuff like that. Their bard is like clapping along, stuff like that, like casting spells, but like on tune to the music. All the words fit the beat, stuff like that. They're all just going along with it, and they're all very excited. So there's a dragonborn with bright blue scales.
Nice.
And every so often, you just see her breathe, and there's electricity everywhere. And there's a half-orc that's very tall and very big, but at the same time it's kind of balanced out. He can move very quickly at the same time. There is a human ranger that, let's see, who arrived first? I'm trying to think of who was at the school first on that morning. And it was Drew.
I was last.
You were last, okay. So
Second
all
or
of you
third.
saw Elizabeth show up with this ranger that's human rather than this with an elf. So everyone in the family was human except for Elizabeth.
Thinking.
Okay.
And then there is a half-elf bard that's ears are they're kind of pointy, but at the ends it's a little rounded. Like they're very long, but they're just round. It's kind of comical. But this half-elf is getting very excited and into the music. She's loving this. And they're all going along with it, loving it. The ranger seems almost to be skipping as he's shooting. Stuff like that. After a while he just sets his bow down and starts using a short sword. And he's training, and it's a little bit of what you've seen. Oh, you used a staff the entire time, didn't you, last time?
Yeah.
Or did you actually hit anything with it, or were you casting?
Me.
Okay.
I mean, I tried to hit him, but it wasn't
Alright.
a good roll.
His
That's-
shield.
It's kind of similar to, you can see how he moves is similar to how Elizabeth seemed to, like, she was trying to mimic what she's seen before, but it wasn't a lot. It was like an inexperienced, like, all right, remember all the steps. There's this step, and then you do this, and then this, like stuff like that. Somebody trying to go through the process is like that. So they're all enjoying it. And they keep to themselves, but they're still enjoying the music. You can tell that they all have energy.
I appreciate this. Don't get to play very often.
This awkward silence.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
happy.
Shep just
Yes.
Yes, we'll go with that. I'll nod.
I look forward to learning more with you.
Another group comes up, and it's the group. It's Jack the Elf, so the older of the two Jacks in your class, in the Bard class. Remember, there are two Jacks, they both have trumpets. So this one's an elf, it's not the half-orc one. So it's a ranger, a bard, a rogue, and then a barbarian that's a human barbarian, but he's still pretty big. Think like Scott O'Brien size. But he's like 19. He's massive. So they all come up and Jack's getting all excited. He pulls out his trumpet.
I stop playing. And with that,
come on, man. Hey, come on, Shep. You want to join me, don't you? Come on.
Not really.
I heard you guys play. Come on. All right, fine. And they go over to their side. They're over by the other group. They're like saying hi, but they mostly leave them alone. They ended up going on different corners so that they're not right beside each other. So you guys leave. Drew, what would you like to do in the library?
I guess I'll just try and find history again.
You're trying to find history?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead.
I take the cat book, set it down so I don't find it. Then
Go ahead and roll investigation.
investigation. Let's see.
I don't know about dogs this time.
2008. That's an 11 total.
Oh, it's not
Okay.
that bad.
This time, you find a section that's, it seems like it's the history section. What kind of history book are you looking for? Are you looking for like the wars or
Just
Culture.
adventures that came from the school.
adventure?
I want to
Alright.
see what happens to them.
Alright, you find one that's, it's like the nicest book in the row. But you pull it out and it has legacies of Night-Arbor, which is the name of the tree or the school. You set it down and you start reading it, and as you go through, there's the first page is a group of, there's the main one that's centered in this book is a wizard that he looks very old, but he's elven. He has this very long light blue draped cape. There's like a picture of the group, like a painted picture of everyone in the group. So it's a wizard, there's a barbarian, and then a ranger and a fighter. And they're all there together, just smiling. But the wizard looks like he's the oldest of them. He's aged the most. It almost seems like the wizard's was done the last, as if nobody had seen him. And you start reading and it says that after a while he just kind of disappeared. And they were the strongest people anyone ever knew, but the other three aside from the wizard all passed away.
Okay.
Over 50 years ago. You're not there.
Okay, so after that, I figure it's getting pretty late, so I get back to the dormitory.
Alrighty. So all of you are in your rooms, you two are in yours, you two are in yours. The female has not joined you. The rogue ended up going with the guys again. His bed's in there, you know. Yep. So
Or
it's,
something get thrown against the wall.
let's find out. Let's find out if they catch it. Oh, they catch it.
No, I meant
So-
a person.
Oh, you mean a person.
To catch the person.
Let's see how that person does. Oh, no. You hear a very loud thud in the wall. It's on the left wall. So I don't remember which bed either of you took, but whoever was right on that side, it was right by the wall, and that wall about to break. You're not sure what happened, but something big slammed against that wall. And then you hear, yeah, Jared!
Take it, Jared.
Make some soundproof walls or something.
I think they'll be able to.
Oh, probably, but, you know, they're
It was that
teenagers.
loud. It was that loud.
It came through the door, and then down the hallway, and through their door. So you hear them. It's for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden all of them just get dead silent.
Well, heard that.
And then you hear a very gentle knock on your door.
You went into that.
Okay, yeah, I walk up, open the door just a bit and be like, hello?
Alright, so the principal, the very old man, he's standing there and he's holding the barbarian by his shirt. And what do you say? The barbarian. I'm sorry I slammed against the
back
wall.
into the room.
No, it was the thief that was in there. Really.
Yeah,
it was the- I'm sorry I slammed into the wall. I know that it's 8:30 p.m. and I should be quiet now because people are trying to sleep. I'm sorry, it won't happen again tonight. And he just hits the head pretty gently, but it still moves his head. He's, or at all. I won't run into the wall at all. I will save that for in the combat room for training. There you go.
Now the other one.
And then he's just, the principal, thank you for at least listening to his apology as half-hearted as it was. And then he gently closes the door and walks him back to his room and they're quiet.
Breathe a sigh of relief.
You just kind of hear their door very gently close beside you and you hear, ooh, you got in trouble. They all just kind of get quiet and they're like talking so you can't hear them through the walls. So, what are you guys going to be doing? Are you going to go immediately to sleep or are you
I'm
going
gonna go to
to kind of
sleep.
chill in your room?
No, I'm waiting for the other person to get there so I can lock the door.
Alright,
Did you find anything out?
so
Did
you
you find anything out?
I mean, I read a book about some adventurers. I don't know what to get from it though, so.
We don't need to go into
Yeah,
that.
some adventurers.
And
I was just making small talk. We don't need to actually roll for that.
It's okay. I already have the menu for that wizard.
I wonder if this character is important.
Nope.
Nah,
No, not at
not
all.
for a while. You'll be safe for a while. Uh-oh.
Safe, okay.
For a while.
That's probably a friend to me.
Where'd you get that staff? That was spoilers.
My brother gave it to me.
There
I will
you
get
go.
some sort of target. I will get some sort of target to put in the room.
Alright.
I'm gonna shoot the walls.
I don't know if
Target
there probably wouldn't be
donation.
one at the school unless you ask either the ranger teacher or the rogue
I'll have to
teacher.
do that sometime later. Because you
Just
know,
paint
if
the
it's a bit
walls.
late, it would be awkward if I
What's
just.
on the beds?
On the beds, there's,
How many pillows?
you all have 2 pillows.
I take one of my
Yeah.
pillows and like. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna stab in the wall with a knife and that won't work.
Really, the walls are
Is there a chair in here?
Just paint it.
There's not a chair, but there are like the crates that were at the end of the
Slide
beds.
those over to one of the walls and set this a pillow on it. Go with that.
So I'm just, throwing the knife at it and walking back over and just keep on.
Roll.
Oh no!
Yeah, go ahead. Just roll it a couple times. It doesn't
Okay.
matter how many times you do it.
That is a 13 plus. Let's see, it's a dagger, so I'm assuming.
Yeah, you have to try the dagger.
Can I use my action to help? I don't know how much I can do, but I am proficient
First one's
in daggers,
18,
so
First one's
Yeah,
18,
sure.
I
that would
guess.
give you advantage.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna, that 18 is probably fine, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
see this one. Another
So with advantage, you
18.
can roll twice. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep getting an 18. As long as
I
you get above
swear.
10, you're fine.
Let's see, and this last one is 16.
Alright, yeah.
I mean,
You're just hitting the pillow. There's a little tiny thud because it hits the pillow through and then hits the wall. They're all hitting dagger first. It's fine. There's not really much sound at all. You're
Not bad.
getting the hang of. All right, this is where I want to hit. It's getting very directed. All right, Shope's asleep. Elizabeth's just kind of waiting for the last person to get in there.
Elizabeth's getting a Mountain Dew.
I see that.
Wait on it,
Being responsible and getting hopefully water. I don't know if you've had in a while.
What am I doing?
No, never mind. Not getting water. Eventually, she does come in. because you two share a room with her, you do know her name. She doesn't really talk much at all unless it's about her father.
Did we just become best friends?
You got it. Her name is Igartine, but she just goes by Egg. Like, that's what everybody they just call her Egg.
What? You egg?
Her mother's the only person who does not call her Egg, and that she calls her by her full name. Even her father does in public. He calls her Egg. He was the first one to start doing that. Yeah.
Now listen, egg.
What? You Egg? That's how I came up with that name.
Really?
Yes.
Alright.
Because of Hamlet. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's it.
Pretty sure.
It's Shakespeare. I know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
That one's Macbeth, I think.
It might be Macbeth. It's one of
Because
those
I
two.
think it was something about what's his face's kid.
Oh yeah, it's Macduff's kid.
Am I connected to the...
No.
I don't know. Let's just.
It's
continue.
Macduff's son
It's not important.
who dies. I've seen this too many times. You've seen it. We watched it in
I know.
class.
Macbeth.
We
I
read it in
didn't
class.
get-
Here, whatever. Let's continue. This is not.
Alright, so eventually she comes in and she just kind of sits on her bed and she's just kind of almost thinking, like she's sitting on the edge, looking down at the ground with both of her hands on either side of her, pressed against the bed, just kind of thinking. And silently, she looks up at both of you and she sees that Chump's like knocked out. Looks at Elizabeth. She just doesn't want to bother Elizabeth because Elizabeth doesn't look like she wants to talk. And she just kind of gives up and then rolls over and faces the wall and pulls her blanket all the way over her and then goes to sleep.
I'm gonna lock the door now.
We
Alright.
never have to fight her. We both know what we have to say. We're about to begin. Sorry, that's off topic. Please
Please
continue.
make a pun about cracking an egg.
Oh, I was just gonna do what, you egg?
Time to make some omelets.
No, there are so many puns.
Stabs it.
Continue. Sorry. I can't
No, it's okay.
Stop
D&D is good for
Looks
embracing
like we
weirdness.
cracked this yolk.
There you go. Did you say yolk?
Yeah.
That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, kind of.
Alright. Alright, so you all go to sleep. It's a quiet night. It's nothing really
Spooky
of
cat
consequence. You wake up the next morning, and yet again, Elizabeth, you wake up earlier than everyone else. Are you gonna go down for breakfast early again?
Yeah.
Alright, so you go ahead down, and this time, there's not as much stuff. Like, there's not waffles this time. It's like, there's pancakes, there's some bacon and eggs, like stuff like that. It's simple and quick stuff to make, but it's still very delicious for you. So you're down there for a while. Are you gonna stay down there after you're done eating, or are you gonna go to the library again?
We can go to the library and just listen to other people and maybe see what books they take.
Alright. Let's see. I don't remember what race any of these people are. Okay. They're two of those wizards from before. I don't know if you were in the same room as them, but probably. They're an elf and a half elf. They're both just in there. They're sitting there reading. It looks like they haven't moved. Like they've been in here for a while. They probably went to bed early, stuff like that. They're both just sitting there. One of them is reading a book on goblins again. It's probably the same book they had the day before. They look like they're almost at the end of it. And then the other is holding a book that's about the very recent war, stuff like that. Like trying to cover that. Every so often, both of them just set their books down, look at each other, and start talking about their book. So they read a chapter and then they start talking. So, are you gonna sit at the same table, or are you gonna sit like at a different one? No? Okay.
I'm assuming you can same table as them, because that's
Right.
a bird now.
There are 3 tables in the middle, and on either sides there are bookshelves, like crazy.
Far table.
7 far table? Alright. So, they're on the farthest end from the stairwell, so you'd be on the closest. And they're not talking too quietly, because they were the only people in here aside from maybe one person that's probably in the bookshelves somewhere? Probably? So you're sitting at that table and you can hear them slowly talking, and one of them just starts going through very in-depth stuff about like goblin history, stuff like that. And it's very obscure stuff that there's no reason anybody actually needs to know it. what they want to, because
Favorite
we talked
food
about
is
goblins.
X.
Yeah, something like that. Or like, yeah, this clan of goblins had a battle with this clan of goblins, and this clan of goblins won. Or this one did this thing. And like, for a long time. Like, they sit here for hours. The other one is talking instead about just the current wars that they heard that, oh, we're having history today, so we're going to talk about wars, stuff like that. So they're talking about all the wars that you're going to learn about, stuff like that, going through. Just being in depth about the different continents, which I actually have names for now. So the continent you guys are on is Vaplux. It's VAPLUX.
So it's like suplex,
Wait,
but it's
what?
VAT.
It's the continent you guys are on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I should write
It's
VAPLUX.
suplex, but with a VAT at the beginning
Yeah,
instead.
it's Vaplux.
I'll write that down.
All of the continents are like one country. That's kind of how it is. So the king is in charge of that entire continent. And then they have like an embassy, I guess, in every continent for the different parties, or the different continents that are around. Like for this one, it's around the tree, because the tree is where the king lives. There's a temple in the top, and a sword, a palace, a sword. So they're talking very in depth about different ones. They start talking about one with Ohor, which is one that's to the north, and then Vaplix. They're battling. They're going in depth, like obnoxious. They both are like spending way too much time basically regurgitating the entire chapter to each other. And then they read again. And then they do it again. And they just keep doing that. So,
Did either of them mention a wizard?
one of them mentions a wizard that, I don't remember his name. Where's my notebook? I have my tiny notebook somewhere that has the name. They talk a tiny bit about it when they're talking. This is like close to the end, so it's been probably 2 or 3 hours of them just talking. Would you have stayed that long?
I mean, class hasn't started, so.
Let me find where I have the information written about you guys. They start talking about, I mean, there was a wizard that they helped in this war like over 100 years ago, maybe even longer than that. There aren't really great dates for some of the wars, and this one was the most, the furthest off. So it was a long time ago. There was a wizard that he seemed like he was the most promising of anyone. He joined an adventuring party, and then suddenly 3 of them died, and he disappeared off the face of the earth, and nobody's seen him for a while. His name was Paiwalan. And they just kind of keep talking about him, and then one of them, I bet there's a book about him somewhere. So they get up and they go and start searching for the book, and I want to see which one of this group was. Okay, yeah. So it's one of, they're both guys, so they're both sitting there talking about it for quite a while. And the elf gets up and he starts looking for books about sort of stuff like that. There's books that are very categorized. Let's see if he actually finds anything. Yeah. He finds a book that's very specifically on just wizards that came from the school. And he seems to find an entire category, and you can see the category, like, it's on the outside wall right by all of these tables. It's just adventures. There's an entire wall. Somehow, oh, I missed it. He found this one book that's about all of, like, a broad.
Well, I mean, I rolled pretty bad. At least it wasn't cats.
So, they start reading about just the wizards that came from the school. And they're both sitting beside each other with this book open, both leaning way over it and looking at it and never stopping. Right, you ready? Yeah. And then they flip the page, and then they keep reading again. And then they stop after they finish about one and start talking about that one, and they're talking about this one for the rest of the hour. And then you all hear, all right, you're about 7:30. Get up and go get breakfast if you haven't already, and, get ready for your classes.
May as well go to class early then.
All right.
Morning.
So you're going
Saying
back.
that to no one.
So you're going back up to the cafeteria because your homeroom's in that class. In there. So everybody's going to be at the cafeteria.
No, there are people there. Are they still reading the book?
They are.
I'll stay and listen, see if they say anything else.
All right. They just kind of keep talking, and then They find the end of it where it says he kind of just disappeared, but it's rumored that he's around the school somewhere because he wanted to keep protection of it, and he cares very dearly about it. And that's the end of the book.
Evil.
Are you gonna stay in there?
I'm gonna wait till it gets a bit closer to
Alright.
time.
Are you gonna wait till you hear the 5-minute announcement?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's good.
Are you gonna look at a book or no? Or are you just gonna sit there?
Contemplating things.
Relatable. Alright, so you guys get up there and you see there's pancakes, and bacon, eggs. Yeah. What are you guys gonna do? Are you guys gonna all sit at the same table?
I'm gonna sit at the same table I did last time.
Alright.
I'm gonna go to this table before she gets there.
Alright.
I'll go with her so they can't kick us off of the table again.
Okay.
Bark, bark, bark.
He's downstairs.
Okay, it sounds like he's behind me, like out here. Like, what? He's down there.
Barking at you through the window.
Mario! It worked. So, two of you, Owen and Chuck, are sitting here, and you other two are over here, sitting in this. Corner.
Lifetime.
So, the richer group of kids, not make it on that chair. They walk in and they see only two of you at the table, look kind of confused, look over, see you sitting alone for the moment. They look back at you two and then sit at their table. And they just keep giving you glares every so
There's
often.
that table. His table is our table now.
they
Can't have it.
just keep talking and stuff like that. Finally, the paladin. Why don't we just claim this as our own table? Like he's being pretty loud about it, but the two twins just. Excuse you. And we're serious. It's all right. That was our table first. Why don't we just let them have it? Just let them. They got there first. How about we say whichever group of us gets here first gets that table of the day. Whoever gets there first gets it, and then we leave the other group alone. Well, that's not quite fair. I think it is fair. It's first dibs. Just let them have it. That way, you don't have
Did not make sense.
red things ruining your clothes. You know, you don't want spaghetti on you again. Well, that came out pretty easily after an hour. Fine. And then the other brother, the one that's let's see, one of them's in white with all gold, white and gold again. The other's in white and silver. It seems like they always do this. So the sorcerer is Cyrus. He's the one that's in gold. The other, I guess because you want to agree with them for some reason. And he looks at the paladin. I guess they can have that table when they make it here first. And since half of them are here, I guess we'll let them have it today. And then they just start quietly eating their food. Like their twins are being obnoxious about how it's not fair. But they're eating. And they're leaving you guys alone. So, you're sitting at that table for probably like 20 minutes alone. That's fine. The other group, you can see them run past the cafeteria. It's the one that normally sat with Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even stop. They just keep going. Like they go straight to their classes. And, all right, everyone, you can go ahead to your classes, clean up and such, and get ready, stuff like that. Come to your homerooms if you are ready.
Nothing. Okay. It doesn't.
Did you open it with your teeth again?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're jealous.
Very.
They just run right past that group of second years. They run right past, and then all of a sudden they all just stop, and they're like probably at the floor below, and then you hear them coming back up. And then they come in, and they go and they sit at that table and.
She's not here yet.
Oh, okay. So you heard the 5 minute, or you come down?
Yeah.
Alright. So, they're sitting at that table and then they realize, wait, we're gonna have a room over there. So they all just, sorry to leave you. And then they get up and go over to the other side. They all go to their side. It seems like all the third and fourth years are already gone. They've left. So the second years are in here on their side. Elizabeth comes in. Everybody else is already there. They're sitting down, but everybody's chatting at their table. Are you gonna go sit with
He's not
Doran.
the table I said that.
Yes, he is.
Bark, bark, bark.
You're Lucas.
Me as well.
Are you, you're gonna sit with Doran?
I
Alright.
can't just not sit there anymore.
I do believe we should probably sit as a group.
I believe many things.
So would you like to sit with us, or would you like us to continue?
And I was gonna sit here anyways.
Alright, we'll come to you then. If I can convince Shump.
I'm not moving. Drag Elizabeth over.
That's 2 people who aren't moving.
Which you
I'm
prefer
gonna do what I
probably
can to inconvenience the snobby rich kids.
I mean, on the one hand.
They're already settled at their table. They're just sitting there. Start doing homeroom again. It's basically the same as yesterday. He just kind of keeps going. This time he doesn't review your class schedule. He does remind you that you will have history instead of beasts. You will yet again be separated by your years, but you won't be in the ranger room. You will be in the barbarian room again. So, you all eat. You head to classes, and you're separated by your classes again. It's basically the same thing as yesterday, and you're already getting bored of the door, and it's basically just sitting there eating for hours, and it's like, all right, I'm done.
You're probably some wonder.
Show you
Like a pet.
your classes. It's been pretty musical, like today especially. It's
No!
they're all playing. Hey, bards don't only have to be music.
You're right.
Contrary to popular belief.
If you hit them in time to the beats.
So he's teaching and all right, everybody. Now go ahead and get out your instruments, and then both Jacks immediately play the trumpets. They are excited. And the elf being the older one, and then Pepper's just sitting there and pulls out her flute. She's much quieter. Like the first day, she was very excited. The second day, she was still excited, but she wasn't as like obnoxious about it. The third day, she's alright. She pulls out her flute and alright, now everybody, we're gonna go ahead and start playing. So we're all gonna just try and match the same kind of tone as each other. We're gonna do something very smooth and gentle, alright? So everybody, I'm gonna start playing and you guys can just slowly join in when you feel ready. So he starts playing and it's very melodic. It's like you can just kind of flow along with it. So, are you gonna join immediately or are you gonna wait for other people to join?
I'll join immediately.
Alrighty, so go ahead and roll a performance.
Okay.
Oh no.
It was gonna land on 19 and then my dumb bag.
So instead of being very gentle and almost like there's a butterfly floating through the room, you hear
I play like an electric.
yeah, it's like heavy metal, so you start playing, you're ready, and both Jacks just look at you, and they get all excited. They both get smiles immediately, and they look at each other. They both start playing. The younger of the two, he starts playing terribly. Like it's just he's off key almost every single note. It's hilarious. So it's almost making up for the fact that you messed up and you're playing basically heavy metal now. Like you have a few that are off, or like you actually miss a string and you just completely go past it and you're like, wait a minute, oh no. And you just keep going. But he's a trumpet. He's loud. So you hear the other one's like, he's going along with you, but he's playing it really well, and he's like fitting when you mess up a little bit. Like he's like, okay, it's okay, and he just kind of carries it. Pepper's sitting there and she's holding her flute, like waiting for everybody to be playing. Everybody's playing, and then she starts glaring between the two groups. Like she sees the three of you, and you're all playing, and you're being loud. And she's holding a flute. Flutes aren't loud, man. And she looks at the teacher and starts slowly playing gently, and then the teacher just kind of joins you guys. So he's like tapping his foot really hard. He's joining. He's playing a banjo, so it doesn't quite fit the theme, but he's going for it, and she's just sitting there quietly playing like a. It's almost like she's playing Mozart. She's just being very gentle about it, like she doesn't know what to do. It's similar to that. Mozart doesn't exist, but music like him does. So she's playing very gently and smooth, but it's so quiet you can't hear it. You can barely tell she's playing. But every so often you can hear a note, and you hear like one that's slightly off key, and you're like, ooh, why was that played? And then, oh, she's listening to him. Finally, she just puts her flute down and looks at you guys. And the younger Jack gets up, he scoots his desk right beside hers, goes, here, like this. And he blows it as hard as he can. He's not even trying to hit it though, he just blows.
Can we hear this from our classroom?
I can hear this from my classroom.
Yeah, you're on the same floor. Let's see.
I'm
So you're
trying to meditate.
Yeah, James, you're in the furthest classroom, so you can't quite hear it. Drew, you guys can hear it. Here, let's see where it actually is. Oh, that's beautiful. So they're on the floor right below you.
Oh, great.
So their classroom is here. Your classroom is here. So they're like all right here. You guys have this entire thing. It's just kind of coming right up.
I mean, the
and
teachers
all
are
of
used
it.
to this by now, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely. The road teacher, she's just kind of laughing a little bit. She makes comments about how it's going to be a little easier for you guys to be sneaky because you don't have to worry about sound right now because there's a distraction. In the cleric and paladin room, this is all you guys hear. Nobody's actually focused anymore.
Is there anybody in my class with an instrument aside from me?
Probably. I don't have any designated yet, but there are probably like 2 or 3 of them have something.
I'm gonna try to make eye contact and then reach for my lyre.
All right. Let's see. Aaron sees you, and he's one of the richer ones. He sees you. He just kind of smiles, and then he starts digging around in his little bag beside him, hoping to find something. And he just looks back up at you, kind of sad, and then
I reach at the desk and just kind of start tapping my finger.
and he starts tapping with you and tapping with us.
And make direct eye contact with my teacher. Ooh, that's not good.
It's alright, neither is
6.
Alright.
Don't worry,
So-
I rolled a 1.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
there's even more noise.
The 1 is one of the things that's loudest, but man, that trumpet, everybody hears that trumpet. And everybody on your floor hears, no, like this! And then a loud blow.
I'm assuming that even my floor heard that one.
You heard him blowing, none of you know what it is. And then there's the oldest student, it's a boy, his name is Sue. He's on the back of the card, because he didn't fit.
Hi, Sue.
Yes, it is a boy named Sue, that is a
Oh,
reference.
it's a dwarf. Yes.
Yes. He just smiles, and then he pulls out the name of the instrument, a lute, and just starts playing with you, trying to match the obnoxious thing that's happening in the other room. You guys, on that floor,
It sounds like that.
you hear a very loud door slam shut that's outside of both of your rooms. And then some storming over. They come to this door and stop for a second. And then you hear it just knocking very hard. And then opening the door and they leave the door open and walk away. And it's the wizard teacher. He just stands at the door for a second, stares at you all. You're still playing.
Yeah, I don't stop.
He just looks.
Direct eye contact.
Leaves the door open, walks away, walks over to the bard's door, slams on it, and I asked you to quiet down! I'm going back to my class.
I'm an engineer.
And then he turns around and walks away. He leaves both doors open. So you guys all hear him yell at it. He just goes back in and slams his door shut. And then
Done.
everybody in his classroom, dead silent. Your class, they're still playing.
Oh yeah.
Because they're laughing. Are you still playing?
Yes, but slightly quieter.
Alright. Both Jacks just kind of stopped when he opened the door, like, oh no, is it the principal? And then
Not again.
they just kind of look for a second. Pepper, she completely had her flute down, like she doesn't know what to do. The teacher just kind of looks over, smiles, goes, and then keeps playing. And he's as loud as you are, and you quiet it down a little bit. Both Jacks see him do that, and then start going again. And then you hear the door open again, slam shut, and then just thudding as somebody's going up the stairs. And you guys all keep playing for a while, and it feels like it's been like 5 minutes. You can tell somebody came down the stairs. They're not nearly as loud. There were 2 sets of footsteps, but the first one's very angry, but they're a little bit quieter. And just all of a sudden, everything is just silent. Like, you guys are still playing, but it's silent.
Hey, I've seen this one before.
And then the principal comes to the bard's room, and he wasn't told that it was in the cleric and paladin room, because clerics and paladins only do good, because that's the stereotype. He goes to the bard's door, and he opens it, and he just kind of looks, and both Jacks are holding their trumpets like this, just kind of blowing more, but nothing's happening. He drops the silence, and all of a sudden, both Jacks are going again. Like, it's just loud, and then they just and look at the door like, oh no. The principal just, I believe I have spoken to you, Gerard, about keeping your classroom a little bit quiet. We are going to work on this so that it is quieter, and so that you do not disturb our wizards again. And then he leaves. And then in the cleric and paladin room, like, he walks by and there's still a little bit of playing, like, there's still tapping from Aaron. He's still kind of tapping on the ground. But, like, Owen's not hearing it anymore, and Elizabeth's not hearing it anymore. Yes. You hear, like, the one loud trumpet sound, and then it stops. And you're like, did something
Confusion.
Yeah, basically. Like, it was silent, and then it stops. And that's basically what your entire class period was you guys just messing around. And then for you guys, you could hear it. The sorcerers and wizards and warlocks, all of you were sorcerers. You're all just kind of still doing stuff, just messing around with the teacher and stuff. Like, he's teaching you random things about casting.
You gotta do a dramatic pose.
He has a few of you cast spells, like, just to try and give you, like, pointers on techniques. And he has one person cast a spell, and then he'll help them, like, with stances, stuff like that.
Yes,
and he's telling everybody, like, all right, you want to stand in a special way so that you're pointing it this way and there's no chance of you going that way or going that way. And he's, like, helping guide you a little bit. So what spell would you like to cast when he has you go up?
Oh.
He did request that it be a damaging spell.
Ray of Frost.
Alrighty.
Do
Is
I
that
need to roll?
a cantrip?
Yes.
SMH. You played it safe, boy.
Ray of Frost.
I'm not too worried about it. He has you on the mat when you do it so that it goes right at the barrier.
Okay.
And then he gets up there with the 4th year, and he has the 4th year cast, 4th year does Fireball again, and then he just kind of smiles, laughs a little bit, and then casts Fireball at the same wall. Like the teacher does it after having the 4th year go out. And he is going to take the advantage. I need your 2 d10s. No, d10s.
I only have 1.
No, you should have said that.
This is percentile, not d10.
It's a d10. This is the teacher.
Next minute.
For the next minute, you shout when you speak. So all of this music is happening, and then after a while, it just kind of stops. And this teacher, he tries to cast Fireball, and it doesn't really work, and he...
Uh-oh.
Why is this the one that I get? And he's staring at the wall, just standing there against the wall, so angry. And then he sits down at his desk and he just gestures at the entire class, like, go ahead, do whatever you want. And he just sits there for a while, and he's counting in his head. And then finally, he just, 60! Okay. Back to normal. What?
Roll for heart attack.
It's like all your classmates were just kind of sitting there like chatting, like, what happened?
All 3 other classmates.
Yep. What's going on? What happened? I don't know. He tried to cast a spell and it didn't work, and then he just shouted. He's never shouted before. What's going on, man?
To be fair, that is not the worst thing that could happen.
Oh no, it's not.
No, he could have hit himself with a fireball.
The fourth year is sitting there. She's, it's okay. It happens sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
wild magic just is a bit wild, and that happens to him sometimes.
This floor is made of
This is an Aspen tree because of the way that it is. And she's just trying to talking to the second year and the other first year that are there. Just kind of explaining to it. She looked at you and you didn't seem like too confused about it. Like it spooked you when he yelled, but you didn't seem all that surprised when something happened when it didn't work. So all three of the other classmates did cast a spell one at a time, but one of them just kind of fizzled, and that was the second year. The other two worked perfectly fine. The fourth year it worked fine for Kenna. So for a while, all of you just hear like shouting on the other floors, especially you, Owen. So all you've heard so far is below you, you hear obnoxiously loud music. It stops, and then about a minute later, you hear, why? And then you guys, everybody in your class is like just frozen for a second. It's kind of dark in your room. It's not like pitch black so you can see, but you're all just kind of standing there for a few seconds, and you look at your teacher and she's, it's alright, it happens sometimes. We're going to continue. Yeah. And then you all start doing stuff again. You're throwing daggers, and then you hear, as you are throwing one, you hear, 60! And your dagger just goes straight to the ground.
Spooked.
And several of your classmates are like kind of chuckling a little bit, like, oh, that's funny. That happened. Good job, guys. Why do I have text?
I don't know.
I don't know who it's from, but they get to wait. So the rest of your class goes by pretty calmly, and that was the third class of your school experience here.
Yeah.
So your classes all end, and actually, yeah, that was your third day. So then you all go to lunch, and everybody's talking about what happened at lunch. Everyone is talking about the music, because the Rangers are like, I could not get a shot off straight. And like, a bunch of the Rangers seem to be sitting together instead of sitting in their groups, so it's like they've made people move. They're all sitting together because all the Rangers are mad. Like, they came up together and they're sitting with the Ranger teacher, and he's just kind of sitting there laughing, like, alright, calm down. But they're still getting pretty heated about it. The bards, most of them are sitting together, and they're just kind of laughing. Sorry, the light's flickering.
Is it?
That one.
Oh, I see.
I saw it out of the corner of my eye. They came up together and they're talking about it. They're all laughing. And some of the other classes are getting pretty angry about it. The paladins and clerics are, okay, you saw Lucas. Lucas walks by going like, the paladins and clerics, some of them are joking about it. Like the ones who were doing it were playing. They're laughing. The teacher stayed in his room, but Sue and Aaron are both laughing. The others are all just kind of like, okay, why did that need to happen? We were trying to focus. Like,
Yeah, why did that need to happen?
The wizards, all of them.
Oh, how does that
Like,
work? Okay.
let's see, how many wizards are there?
I was confused about what I had done.
The 4 wizards. There should be more than 4. There are 5 wizards. 4 of them, all from the same class. Like, the same group and everything. They all come up. They're all just thinking about how irritated they are. The 4th one is the king's daughter. She comes up. She sits by. I'm guessing you guys sat at your normal seats where you're...
Yeah.
Alright. So Shumpin, Owen, I'm guessing you're over here. Doran, did you sit over here too? Or did you sit with Elizabeth?
I'm gonna attempt to get Elizabeth to come to the table with the rest of them. And then
That's
I
a
will go sit
strength
with-
check, isn't it?
I'm not going to force you. It's just more conversation.
Conversation's spooky.
Would you like to roll persuasion? It's up to you. It's up to you, James.
It's up to
Oh, he's the one who's
I'm just-
trying.
Yeah, let's find out how.
Very good. No, it's only an 8.
Was
Just
my
not
rolling
one.
then?
No, you don't do
My
it.
rolling
You don't have
persuasion spell?
No, he's
How
trying to
persuasive
do
I
it.
was, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's just kind of, was he very persuasive at all?
I wasn't.
So you're still sitting over at your table, and are you gonna sit with her? All right. So the 3 of you are over there, and you have the same group join you yet again, except the ranger is not with them. He is sitting at a table of just rangers. They're all arguing. The three of the rich kids, one of them was a paladin. He comes over and he sits with the twins and he's laughing so hard. He thinks it's hysterical. The king's daughter comes up with the other four wizards and she's walking very elegantly. She's very great posture. She sits down with them and just glares at him for a second. I could tell that you joined them. And then she tries to push him, but he's like twice her size. So that's hilarious. She rolled a 19 and a 9, and she was rolling with disadvantage because of how small she is. I decided she would get it. She has at least a -1 to strength. So she's trying to push him, and he's just kind of huge. So he just kind of and just puts his hand against her and barely slides her away. Like there's like 2 inches. She goes, "How dare you lay your hand on me?" And then she starts just quietly eating her food. She's not gonna deal with it anymore. She isn't making eye contact with him. Like she's actually mad at him. And then the twins both are looking at her like, "What is wrong with you?" Like one of them was in the class and he thought it was kind of funny, but he didn't like do anything. I forgot to mention that one of them is in that class. And he was in the back. Like he kind of quietly joined, but it was not all that great. Did I knock him on the paper?
Some of my brothers are arguing about it.
Yes. Your brother is one of the ones arguing. And he doesn't yell. But he and some of the rangers are, "It's okay, guys, it was great, it was fine. That gives us practice for in combat. Well, combat's not gonna be quiet. Guys, combat isn't quiet, it's fine, right?" And he's got a bard in his group.
Especially if I start shouting.
That's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be beautiful.
This is a stealth mission.
Remember, it's a stealth mission. Right.
So he's one of the rangers that's yelling there. They just sit down and then eventually they start getting quiet and the twins are talking to Erin and then finally I just got to the sense she'll join them in speaking and they all have their conversations. You have the 3 join you at that table because their 4th is not open at the moment. The bard looks at you and no, was it the bard? Yeah, it was the bard. He goes, "So, you're at the table again.
Correct.
Why don't you sit with your group? Like, you can stay here."
Half the group is.
He is here.
No, he went to the other table. Why don't you sit with your group?
As he points at us, I go,
I'll have to talk to them.
Well, yeah, but that's part of being a group.
And one of them's a very large cat person. Who keeps following me.
I'm pretty sure he just wants to be your friend. I mean, look, he looks pretty friendly over there. He's sitting with your group. I mean, look. He points over and you make eye contact with some of them. Like, they're over there. They're smiling. Owen waved, but he's like putting his hand down from waving and then he sees you look over.
And I'd have to do with him.
I'm pretty sure they just want to be your friend. I mean, really, you gotta bond with your team.
That's a shame.
That's how you be safe and, do well.
Are we just staying away from keeps you sitting back?
Does it?
Yeah.
It keeps you in the back where you can be ambushed.
Won't I be in the back anyways?
Or you're alone.
Won't I be in the back anyways?
Well, yeah, but you gotta teach your team to trust you.
I gotta trust myself first to hit things.
What do you mean by that? And then the ranger table just kind of disbands a little bit, and the female ranger sits down and she goes, "So I found out that you're sitting over here, and apparently one of them is your brother.
He is.
Your brother's nice.
I know.
I'm Melanie."
Hi. I'll go sit over there now.
Well, you shake my hand. It's polite.
Sure.
Alright, bye! Jeez, why are your hands actually that sweaty?
I don't determine how my hands get sweaty.
James is
I'm very in character.
So are you gonna go sit with them then?
Yeah, I gotta. It's too high energy.
I gasp, I'm like, I can start reusing my cat facts.
I recommend not doing that. At least not first. Let it be comfortable.
They all start talking like at that table again. They're being friendly, and Melanie's like very excited. Yeah, that's Leon's sister. Leon's like really good at stuff. Bye. And she's waving at you. You're looking the other way. She's okay. Bye. And then they keep talking, and she gets quiet again. But she's pretty quiet about it. Like they all start having their very quiet conversation. I saw you, Lucas. Walking by again. So what are you guys gonna do now that Elizabeth is joining you at your table?
Absolutely nothing.
The exact same
No,
thing.
but no.
Just talking.
Alright. Oh, and what are you gonna do? Anything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna join in on the conversation, the small talk.
Alright, about cats.
About. I wait a few minutes to bring up the cat facts.
Just, hey, you wanna hear about cats?
I don't have a say, do I?
Not really. Do you know cats?
Cats are good butts.
That's a reference.
Yes.
And it's a reference. It's like a reference or something.
Forgot. Wait.
So you guys are all sitting there at
Everyone's
lunch.
just ignoring me. I'm
You're just talking about cats again. They're just ignoring you. Eventually, you get some looks from the richer kids that are like, why is he always talking about cats? Does he really like cats or something? Like,
no, I'm indifferent.
It's
I
weird.
just no stop.
His teacher's a cat. It's kind of weird. Like,
It's kind
That's
of weird
weird.
when I think about it.
they're like, maybe they're just trying to learn about their teacher. That's still weird. Like, you can kind of hear them talking. They're like being kind of quiet, but they're not that quiet. The table, the other group of four in your classes, they're also being they're being rowdy again, but this time they're not chugging water. One of them somewhere found juice. It's not orange juice, but it's juice of some kind. It's very strong smelling. Like, it's probably like grape juice. It's very dark. And they're drinking it. And one of them just burps a little bit, and then I'm gonna do it again. And just keeps chugging again. Gonna roll Constitution on him again. Okay, he didn't roll well. He's drinking this very dark juice, and he's not wearing white, but he's wearing like a light tan color under his armor. And then he's kind of, and it goes right on somebody across from him, and then it just starts pouring down his face, and he, oh man. And then he keeps drinking it again. After a little bit, one of them, you know you got some stuff on all over his. And it's fine. And they just all keep talking. One of them drops his cup when he stands up, and it just shatters. And he, oh, I was gonna drink that. Oh well. And like he kind of uses his shoe and just kicks the pieces of it together into one pile, so that it's not like all over the floor. The rogue just quietly stands up, and he's pretty tall and skinny. He's the one that wasn't in your room anymore. And he gets up, and he just goes over to the lunch room over here. So you guys can't see him, but he was like right here. He goes over to this side, and he starts talking to the lunch lady. Comes back with a broom and starts sweeping it into a pile, so that it's not like everywhere. Because there are always those shards you can never get with your foot. Or you get with only your foot. So he sweeps it all into just a pile, and he's trying to keep it at least slightly tidy. He's like warning people if they come within like 5 feet of it. He's like, hey, there's glass here, be careful. Well, the other three guys don't care, and they're just kind of being themselves again. Yeah, the rest of the lunch it's calm. You all go to history, and this is still day 3. So you head to history. Let me find the right page again. And it's back in the barbarian room again. And this time it's the barbarian teacher. It's in a very thick German accent, which I can't actually do yet. Starts talking about how this is going to be a class for now about the wars. Today, we are going to specify about the war between Zeplux and Ohor. So, continent of the north. She starts getting very in-depth about the war, about why there was such a big deal, about how there was always this one soldier that just kind of stuck out in the entire army.
Oh
That's right. It came in.
Oh no.
I've been waiting for this. I got very excited when I realized I hadn't talked about this yet. They start getting.
First time.
She starts getting very in depth about it, about the war, and then she starts almost going on a tangent about this one soldier that, like, he's pretty old, and this is one of the kind of more recent battles.
Do we notice her just, I don't know, perk up?
My face is like in my hands because I know what's coming, and I've heard about this too much.
Yeah, if you want, you can roll insight, but predetermined if you can figure out why.
I want to roll with
I got
advantage.
Are you trying to hide it at all?
This-
Like you're
No.
hiding your shame?
This is an ability
No.
check, right?
Yes.
I'm
What is
rolling
it?
with advantage.
Can you?
Is this perception
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this perception or
Tides
investigation?
of chaos. So we can literally to gain advantage on
That's
natural,
just
ability
attack.
check, or saving throw.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's insight, right?
Yeah.
17 or 13. So 17.
All right. I need to remember that you rolled with advantage for later. What did you roll?
I just rolled 10, so.
All right. So you kind of notice Jump has her hands in her, or her face in her hands, but you just kind of, you don't really, you're like, oh, she's probably just tired or something. Like,
Yeah.
she just ate. It's like an after lunch nap, like that kind of stuff. And Doran, you don't even notice. You're right in front of her. You didn't look back. Elizabeth, you're sitting right beside her, and you just see. Are you gonna do anything? You see, she looks so ashamed. Like she wants to leave badly. You gonna say anything?
You'll see me like that soon enough.
And then
We hear that, we're just like, what? What's the context
she's
of
kind of
this?
pacing back and forth across the classroom. Her hands are behind her back, but she's standing up very tall and speaking. And then she starts going on, and she goes,
Now I'm going to read you a small excerpt from something that a bystander wrote during one of the great battles of this war.
Hit the screen, please.
It's about this drummer that everyone underestimated. They really expected him to just kind of be
His
there.
music.
But you know bards, they can do damage sometimes and be useful to us, and they can help protect us. This one stood out among many others and is very much an inspiration. His name is Throckmorton. And then she turns around and she picks up this book and starts, as she's pacing, she's reading, and the day began with lines of men marching toward our outpost. Our men from the days before had been killed, and we had buried them. Today was different. We hadn't seen them coming through the dust storm. Throck was just a small drummer boy. He walked into the storm toward the enemy. All we heard were the small drumming sounds, and then silence. The dust storm came immediately, began to clear, and out of it came Throckmorton, still holding his drums. And then she pulls out like a picture. She just unfolds it, and there's this man. He's a dwarf, and you can see a little resemblance. Like you kind of recognize. You're like, wait, I recognize him a little bit. A few of the classmates, they kind of look and they look at Shump and, nah, he's not green. Like, there's no way they're related. Like, some of them knew, like, hey, she's part dwarf, maybe. So a few look at you and they're like, hey. And
I'll ask her later.
That was Throckmorton, and I do believe that we have one of his relatives in the school somewhere. I don't
I wonder
know.
who that is.
I don't know actually
It's a
who they
slight
are.
bump on my desk as my head hits it.
Somebody alright.
I
No.
believe we've just found who it
Harry
is.
is
I'm not
Heel
sure.
touch. Her
Would you
head
like to
looks
speak
like a
anything
bird.
about him? I mean, he was your great-great-great-grandpa, I believe.
No,
No? Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Alright. I mean, I have heard the story goes longer, and he's just kind of drumming very gently on these drums, but he killed over 10,000 soldiers
Not bad, kid.
in about 10
Very
seconds.
good at vicious mockery.
What?
It's almost as if they dissipated.
Your mom gay.
We're all just dead. Yeah, there's paintings of
Impressive.
him slowly walking out of the cloud. So like he has his foot up and he's holding his
drumsticks, and there's just storm clouds and dust clouds behind him, but there's like a body or two behind him that's sticking out of the dust that you can see, and it looks epic. Like, you look at it and you're like, man, he's cool. And she just kind of keeps going on and talking about him and then a few other soldiers that he was friends with, and now he very much was strong and helped the army, and then almost immediately after that battle, he stopped because he felt bad because there were that many people, and he just immediately felt guilt, like, I just killed that many people. Maybe I should stop.
Ooh, that was my bad.
Right.
Guys.
Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Like,
Goes to their family. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart. My bad.
Listen, I told his mom gay, and he just kind of died along with
Like,
9,000
there were thousands
other
of people that died the day before that, and they were all on your country's side.
What are they listening to?
It's all like thousands of people on your country's side of the battle had died, and then 10,000 on the other side died. And all of this happened on the other continent. It happened in the north. It was very cold. It's similar to a desert, but during the summer it's the desert and there's dust storms. During the winter it's just snow constantly. So for them it was a dust storm. It was normal, but they didn't expect anybody from the enemy to be able to come through it. You all then finish your history. She gives a little bit of other things about the other continents, like she mentions any of them, and she's like, this happened between this continent over just random, like, foreign relations, like Ohor and Syophora both had an argument, like, over foreign relations. Aphelum, which only has really one combat, they were also in battle with Syophora, which ended up being resolved very quickly. As in, it was like a sibling spat where they're kind of mad at each other for like an hour, and then they're fine. It was a bad idea. And she finishes talking about those a little bit, and then she releases you all to training to go back upstairs. And as soon as that class is dismissed, a bunch of people in your class go, Sean, are you related to him?
I'm gonna try to get between Jump and
People are swarming, I'm walking away.
A few of them are trying to like push past. Dude, that's really cool. Like, why didn't you tell us? And it's mostly like the big beach
Meet you upstairs,
guys.
Jump. And I just stand there.
Are you gonna try and leave since he's kind of black?
I'm trying to leave.
All right.
I don't want to be there.
Oh
So-
no, I have the same room.
They're pretty nice, but you go ahead up, and are you heading to lunch, or are you just gonna kind of?
Go to lunch.
All right, you're gonna go to lunch.
I'm not gonna skip a meal.
So
Don't do that.
you go ahead up. The four of the rich kids, they immediately ran out. They were like, no, we don't care. It's related to one of. He's related to one of them. No, it's fine. So they get up there and they look over. They see that none of you are at the table yet, and they're walking calmly, and you get up there as they're like halfway through. So you're at the door here. Let me actually align this so that I can see the squares underneath it. There we go. So you're like at the door here, and they're probably here, and it's the four of them are slowly walking in a line. Are you gonna try and run and go past them, or are you just gonna let them have the table?
I'm just gonna let them have the table. I don't.
The hands.
Are you gonna try and sit at the other one then, at the table that they don't
Yeah,
sit
I'll
at?
sit at
Okay.
the table that they.
So they all get over there, and then they sit down and they see you sit, and they just kind of smirk at you. And I'm assuming the rest of you came up to lunch as well.
Yeah.
Alright.
Once I know that Jump is meeting me safely, I'm going.
Alright. And you're pretty big, so as you're walking, like, a few of the halflings can go past you, but like nobody big can pass you unless they're gonna push you. But they're not like that intimate about the conversation. They're just kinda like, oh, it's cool. So the forward two, they're sitting, they're eating. They were the first ones up there because they just wanted out. So slowly everyone's piling in. Elizabeth, are you gonna sit at the same table as them again, or are you gonna sit at the...
Oh, there's an energetic ranger. I'm not dealing with that.
You don't want to sit with Melanie? Why don't you like Melanie?
Hey, how's it going?
I love Melanie! Alright, so you're all sitting at that table again, and the sorcerer of the ritual, so in your class, Seerless, he stands up and he's carrying the plates from their table after a while. Like, this is after everybody started eating and everything. He's carrying the plates from their table and taking them to the lunch, and he just walks past you all and... Did I write the wrong one on yours?
No, I'm reading his name. Searles?
Seerless. C-I-R-L-E-S. Seerless.
Oh,
He just-
Searles.
He walks by and he's carrying just like 5 empty plates and he just... and elbows you. And then just keep walking.
Do I know this?
Roll perception. I'm gonna roll something.
11.
You do not. Are you gonna do anything about it, Elizabeth, or no? Starts looking at spells.
No.
Fire! It doesn't have fireball yet.
You dare?
Seerless just kind of he sets down the tray in the lunch counter and then comes back to their table and he doesn't do anything when he walks past you, but you notice him walk past. Kind of a smug aura, like, we got the table. Alright, you guys doing anything during lunch or no?
No, I'm just
When I see
eating.
them all at their table, well played. And I go sit down. Like, trying to keep this playful competition. we have.
Yeah, more.
Playful?
Yeah.
But that was before. the show.
Mhm.
I really want to, but I really know I should.
Roll a die.
You know.
The evens do it, odds don't. Roll a
Yeah, do
die.
that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's not. 13. Oh well.
Alright, so you're not.
Okay, so
Alright.
I'm actually gonna try and talk to these guys. Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
I look over at Elizabeth, I say, and go, hey, we've been in this group for a while, but I don't know if you know you guys that well. Where are you from anyway?
Oh dear. The GM gets scared as I haven't made a map yet.
Yeah, whatever, just say if it's near, I don't care.
She's from the town that the tree is part of. You are from like 3 towns over.
That was your foot.
You're like 3 towns over, but recently you were staying in the tavern at that town, or the inn.
Actually, kind of the outskirts-ish
Yeah,
of town.
you were on the outskirts because your family owns a very large amount of property for their business, their woodworking. Your family lives pretty far away on the continent.
We move a lot.
Yeah. At the moment, they're in one of the bigger cities because they came to this town and then went to the big city because it makes it easier when there's one less, just so that they have more room for stuff to give to people and help other people. So that's probably what you hear from everybody.
Woofing around.
At least
Settle
in
down.
some, in some way.
Right, you hear everybody's got a little bit of story about them. You guys gonna tell Owen anything else? Or?
No.
My family, just me and my parents, and we haven't really settled down anywhere. Move from place to place.
At least you get to see the world.
Oh yes, it's wonderful. Wonderful. Learned a lot. Met a lot of
What are you
people.
looking at?
Nothing.
Which one are you looking at?
Nothing.
Oh dear. Something on the wall magic table. Cast a spell, I dare you. You're gonna have training soon.
Okay, I mean, so is that the end of...
And where are you from?
I'm from a small farm. I'm from a small farmhouse outside of town, a few towns over. It's not near here.
It's a very small town.
There's
Yes.
2 of us. At the moment, that is. And your arm?
Oh, I tried to go with adventuring groups, but they didn't exactly. They didn't need a locksmith once they figured out they can just kick doors down.
That happens.
So they kind of tried to ditch me. At that same time, we were ambushed,
That's
and
terrifying.
I got a little hurt.
You can tell.
Out of character information for you, the barbarian then is the one who apologized and paid for your arm to be made.
Well, you have a bit more experience than the rest of us then.
Yeah, I wasn't in combat. I hardly fought at all.
You were with them for about 6 months.
Nice.
You guys going to ask anybody else any information? I'm looking
Trump,
at the
you
two
seem pretty-
female party members.
Hey, Sean, you seem pretty good with the hammer. How did you get so strong that you can move around so easily? Oh, that's a good sign.
Okay, there's your dad.
Yep.
There's your mom.
Okay.
There's your great grandpa. In
Okay.
case you need it.
Okay. Make sure you.
It's mostly just like your parents' jobs, because
Okay.
your father's a blacksmith basically. Your mom does the jewelry.
Excuse me for a moment while I read this.
Do you have working ears?
When you
Awesome.
when you realize her last name is Morton, you realize, wait, that's the name of a dwarf that you know. The dwarf that you went to
Wait, oh snap!
to get your arm.
That guy.
And it
That guy's
slowly
cool.
clicks like, wait, he's related to Throckmorton. He's related to,
That
or
guy.
Shump's related to this guy. Wait!
Hey!
Wait a minute.
So Shump's dad helped with designing your prosthetic arm.
That guy's pretty cool. Also, apparently no wait, that was great. Okay, never mind, that was
Yeah.
his grandpa.
It was his great grandpa. For Abby, it's 3. Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't know what else Abby wants to say. I don't know if Shump will say much. She'd probably be like, my dad was a blacksmith. And then
My dad was a blacksmith and my mom made me train. That's about it.
Parent
Yeah.
assistance.
Elizabeth, do you have anything? If you don't want to, you don't.
Nothing important.
Okay.
Me trying to find the pages.
Don't worry, she'll
There's your parents.
come up to us.
I remember.
Did I?
No.
Oh yeah, I made you read it all. But yours is the one that's really nice handwriting.
Yeah, but I'd have to talk to them.
No, not our characters, just us.
Right, but you remember your parents' jobs, that whole thing.
For the
It's
most
on there.
part. Yes.
I mean, you can at least from your mind. I'll probably send you guys pictures. So, would you tell them your parents' jobs or not, or would you just kind of be like, hey, no.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, there's not a lot more going on during lunch. It's this day. It seems like everybody's really tired. Like it's pushing it. You're on totally day 3. It's Wednesday. Like it feels like a Wednesday. Yeah, you all have your time. For some reason, my brain was like, yeah, you have history, and then you have lunch.
Yep, history, lunch, and then it goes next.
It's supposed to be the other way around, but you know what? Oh well, that's fine. So that's why people left you alone. So you all have them training together afterwards. Are you guys going to be? They tell you you're allowed to face other people in your class. Would you like to face other people in your class, or do you guys want to stay in your? Well, there are 3 groups in every class, so.
I mean, those
What do they do? What are the other 2 groups doing?
There's this. They kind of are talking. The big group really wants to come fight each other. The rich group's kind of like, meh. Like, sure, if the other group is doing it, sure. I guess all 3 of us will. If they're not, no, we're
So
not
you're
going.
going to 3
Yeah, it would be all 3 of you.
3 groups?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that sounds terrifying.
I don't want that. I mean, you guys down?
Yeah, the 4 of
This
you
is out of
get to talk about it. Would the 4 of you like to fight the other 2 groups, who will also be fighting each other?
That sounds terrifying.
I'm fine with
They're-
Terrible.
As long as we don't draw too much attention
Do
to
you know how
us,
many big people there are?
if we can get them to weaken each
There
other.
are 5 big people
Sure.
except for Doran. And he's on your team.
So intimidating.
Well, actually there are 4, because the rogue is just skinny.
Doesn't change my statement.
There
I
are
will
teachers
follow
in
the
there.
group.
She's just fine with whatever. She doesn't
Alright.
really care.
That Shump really likes to fight things and break things.
Yeah. Like the big people. smash the kneecaps in.
I pull my shield out.
Your consensus?
I grab the training arrows
I
and
don't feel good
training
saying this.
weapons.
Stay behind me, Liz.
So, let's go ahead.
Just sit.
The room is basically the same as the cafeteria, except this section isn't here. And there are no tables. It's basically an empty room, except there are training dummies like around the edges of the wall, which then are pushed over. There's like one closet that most of the weapons are in, and they all get put away. The third and fourth years, this time they don't stay in at all. They just immediately leave, or they line up against the wall and they're just kind of watching. Like the group that Leon is in stays just to kind of relax and watch, give pointers to everybody. So they're fourth years. The other fourth years leave. So there's like 4 people staying and watching, and then a few teachers.
So our life in this would just be until we're too tired to fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have basically the 3 corners. So there's not a wall here. They have one group here, one here, and one here. So which spot do you guys want to be at? Doesn't matter. Do you care?
You said that those
There's
walls aren't there, right?
Yeah, the walls aren't here, but there's like a closet here where this room is, and it's just got 4 people lined on it, just watching what's going on.
Where do you want to go? It doesn't matter.
Let's
Do you care? This one
say
here,
right,
here.
I guess.
You're gonna hang here, or you're right. This one. All right. So you guys are all over here.
Are we using the figures or?
We can. I don't have one for Shane, but I do have all of the Fnatic figures if you want. So you guys are all over here. The rich kids are over here. Here. Let's go ahead and give you that. I actually know what figures I want to use for the guys. Maybe. Here. If you guys want, you can go ahead and bring those over here. And then, I don't know what figure
Can we
you would like.
don't know.
can we move that more to
Yeah,
the
I'll put
center?
it in the middle. I'm just trying to find,
Oh yeah, there's Chex Mix.
Yeah.
Was it?
One?
It's gonna get late.
here.
Yeah.
Just a pizza. And if you want, there's a napkin over.
There we go. Right in front.
Yeah.
We're gonna put this tavern meat.
Alrighty.
Um,
I do have
Right
other
over there.
figures. Those are my
and
goblins.
someone with a shield.
Oh, okay.
If you'd like, you can use one of these. I was
I would like
using
to
a
see
big
you guys
figure.
watching. I'm assuming Die Hard.
Yes.
Good Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And then the rope.
Yeah. There's one in there that's kind of got green on it.
Lucas, when does the movie take place?
Because it kind of fits. This dude.
It's a
Yeah.
Christmas movie, Lucas.
There we go. So, the dark haired of these two is going to be the barbarian. This is their fighter.
So they don't have anyone ranged.
No.
Oh, beautiful.
They have barbarian, cleric, fighter, and a rogue. So, this is their cleric. No, this is their cleric. The blonde's going to be their cleric because he has a shield. Alright, so now we get to go for.
How far away are we from them? Just wondering, because I want to know if
Let's find out.
There's another wall. for
And this-
things.
No, there's not a wall for this one. I just don't have the map drawn for them.
we. Is there something in the middle?
There's just this square. Like, there's the stairwell.
Can we use that
It just
as
aligns
cover?
with this.
I mean,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
is that above or is it?
It's just the net. Like, it just goes straight up and down. So it's
So there's a thing below.
yeah. There's trying to figure out what figures to have the twins use.
This.
Okay.
Look here.
All right. So that's the purple
Drop
one.
that thing.
Yeah, sure.
The chameleon from Tank. Ignore the purple worm. It makes this.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
that. Not that.
Yeah.
Not that. I don't have good figures for some of
Cool.
these people yet.
As a paladin, I have nothing at level 1. This is gonna be great.
I have Darth Vader.
Here, we
You know
can.
what? This works.
Okay, so we're talking strategy, right? Can we talk strategy while you do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is if we can get them to try and fight each other, then we can come in and try and take out the only ones that are left. How we do that, I'm not sure.
This is egg. I really don't want to use the lich. I figure as yeah, or the other one that's almost a lich.
I guess I have a sword.
I mean, you have a really high armor class.
Yes, I do.
Here's their
I'm not
power.
worried about getting hurt. It's too much. Just one.
Alright, fine. We're gonna use the lich on this.
Your protection spell, how does that work? Oh wait, I don't know about that
Alright.
crap.
The one with the staff
Sorry, I'm cheating.
is the sorcerer. The lich is the bard.
Works.
So
Do you guys have any
this
abilities
is
that
their
will help us
paladin.
in
This
this?
is egg.
That's actually a slide.
So
There's no small door.
This way.
since
I have ranged
Please
abilities.
don't use that
this
against
doesn't
me.
matter to be hidden at the moment.
Any spells that we should use before the fight starts? Or
No, it's okay with you. That puts you kind of closer to the rich kids. It's okay.
Vengeance!
Let me put all of these figures away. These actually open.
You take my lunch table, I take your kneecaps.
There you go. That works.
I think it would be wise to see how they act.
Too many
I
figures.
am not going to move from this position. Most likely.
Alrighty. So
I'm going to start with my bow instead of the knives. Or
I'm
knife.
gonna set these on
Sword.
the edge of this.
But
Just so that I can select.
Sure.
Do you want to turn it? There we go. That way everybody can see what's going on. So, you guys
Good.
That is
The
that's
sorcerer.
the one. That's the one you want to
The
do.
poor sorcerer! How dare you knock over Searless?
That's what he gets.
Yeah, just a little bit. Alrighty. So, you guys can go ahead and roll for initiative. Which,
she
James,
said the
Is
thing.
that a D20?
yeah,
Oh,
you
that
roll a
is
d20. Do you want to show,
20, not natural.
and then plus, you have a plus 3.
Yeah, it's 20, not natural.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What do I add to it?
Right here.
Top middle, right above your heels.
Oh, okay.
The thing that says initiative.
Where is
How many do we need?
I got
All
a
of
20.
these?
What? Natural?
No, not
No.
natural.
Oh, hey! 20!
Oh, so I have to write it down?
Yeah.
Ah,
That's what I
hallelujah.
brought 'em.
Alright, 2 of you have 20?
Yeah.
Alright,
13.
17.
I got
Plus? Oh, no, mine plus 0.
alright. So,
They're awesome, is what they are.
do you want to go ahead and they both have 20.
So that first.
So, yeah.
You probably have a higher dice.
I have a 16.
Okay, I have an 11.
Me,
That's alright, I get to roll initiative for,
all of them.
Oh, there are
Everyone.
numbers on. That's pretty.
Yeah.
yeah. Alright. So,
Go for a shump or.
this.
Oh!
Here.
I thought that they weren't.
How dare you jump whatever the
Ew, when
drop.
that was
Well,
my
like
leg Abby's.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wait.
Right there. Oh!
This is mine now.
You're very professional.
Yes, professional.
It's alright. Alright, so blue is the paladin.
We don't even know.
Yeah, I'm just, I have to plan for my own
For
brain.
yourself,
My
yes.
brain doesn't work. I have them like lined up over here so that I know what is what. So paladin got 11. There's 2 different 11s. So paladin got 11. So
Is that 1 or 20?
that's a 20. As in a nat
The
20.
lowest. Okay, plus what?
Let's find out. That was Searless at plus 2, so 22.
And he's
Yeah.
sorcerer.
Yes, that's a sorcerer.
That's pretty cool.
The bard, he only got 6 plus 2, 8.
He's currently the lowest.
Yeah.
How dare you? Hang on.
It's a lot.
There are 2 11s, so paladin got 13. And then egg got just 11.
Oh, I got 13 as well.
Yeah.
So Aaron gets that. I got an 11. There was a 6 in there. So an
Yeah. There's an 8.
8. The bard got an 8.
And then I get to
Then the other group push on
It's just
that.
ignore-
Everything again.
this one.
Use some
Yeah,
group
basically.
exercises. Everyone
So-
gets through the hoops.
Barbarian is red, silver is the cleric. Barbarian got a 9,
Okay, so that's
cleric got a 6. So cleric is the lowest.
okay.
Oh,
So barbarian's the one with black
No,
hair.
No, you barbarian got
Black.
this
Yeah.
one, and then
The
9.
cleric is the other one with the shield.
This one, and then
Got it.
10. Oh, they have a cleric.
Yeah, they have a cleric. And then now we have the fighter is
Oh, no, the fighter.
clear.
This was the fighter.
The one in front is the fighter with the mace, just because
Sure.
he got 22.
I have to-
23, so yeah.
that dog is very
I'd
vicious
probably
when the
just be
door
like,
is
yeah, he goes
closed.
first. I don't know.
Or when people go up the stairs.
And then the rogue got an 18, of course. Why does anybody get high rolls? What is happening?
3.
Guys, this isn't okay. Why am I rolling high?
Because you're the PM
Why can't I always roll this high? It'd be really nice.
4. 5. 6. 7. Where's 8?
I don't know.
yeah, that.
What did the barbarian do?
Barbarian. Not a high number. I don't know, because for some reason those
We'll do this.
two of the dice
We'll go
move.
9.
Yeah,
We'll
it works. I'm not too concerned about it. It's just kind of finding numbers.
go. You got a what?
I got a 20, not natural.
You guys got a what?
Number.
13. She got a 13.
There you go. I love the enlarged circles.
8.
Heavy. The enlarged circles. They take up 10 by 10 instead of 5 by 5.
Sure, that's close enough. I don't know if that's exactly that's close.
So you can vaguely see the squares through the paper.
Yeah.
Every square is 5 feet. Ignore the tables, and then this wall, this entire thing is
Does
just not there.
exist.
Yeah. And you can see through this, but there's like stairs that kind of go through, so you wouldn't be able to tap through it, but you can see through. So,
Cool.
had 23
Yeah, that is the fighter.
fighter. Great.
Their fighter.
Yeah. See, all of the teachers are, there's like a few of them, like 3 or 4, that are sitting there. The paladin teacher is there, the druid teacher is there, which none of you know very well. She's really short. She's, I believe in gnome. She's kind of, she looks kind of like just an old grandma, like a really sweet, gentle grandma. There's a few others that are there. The ranger teacher is there, kind of to be almost a referee. All right.
Dog.
I thought he was going up the stairs.
He hates people who go upstairs.
So they're just gonna be a referee, and the cleric and druid teacher are there in case somebody gets down. But they're gonna heal them, and they're explaining that they'll heal you, and then they will move you out, unless your party decides they will heal you. Like if somebody's down, they immediately just I'll heal them. Stuff like that. Like they'll say it. So I'm going with talking as a free action, so you don't have to do it on your turn. Yeah. So we're going to start with the fighter. We have 23. Alright. I don't know what he's gonna do. I wasn't ready for this.
Why don't you just roll to see which team he attacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, which one would you go for? The rich kids.
He's going for the rich kids.
Or us. We
I
haven't
choose
bothered
to be you guys.
anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you've only bothered the rich
We've
kids.
been nice to them.
Yeah, you were really nice to them. It was
We
the
were
rich
cool.
kids
We
that
moved
weren't.
there. Well, we gave him. Wait, what did we do?
You tried to cause
Gave them
trouble.
the idea.
Doran.
I meant for that to be more friendly, but it was not
It
friendly.
became very much a challenge between each other. But then Doran was really nice to them, so he just kind of, alright, he was nice to friends. Him. He is gonna go for,
He's nice.
he's gonna pull out his cane crossbow and try to shoot the sorcerer.
Yeah, get him.
So, it's been so long since I've attacked. anything?
First real attack of the game. Well, real kind of.
It has. It's been a long time since you attacked something.
Oh, I'm
That's
pretty
a
sure that's
19
hitting.
to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw 14. I'm like, that's probably hitting.
Okay, ready? Let's go! Oh crap, he's dead.
Ah, sorcerer.
That was my bad.
Let's just ignore that one
Oh,
page
crap, that was
has
real
statement
arrow.
on it.
I have to reload.
They would have explained to you everybody's using like the training.
we use it.
Everybody has training stuff, and then the spellcasters were told non-lethal damage. Just be very careful. Everybody's told that, but it's specified directly on them. Like you can hurt them,
Non-lethal acid.
but non-lethal.
Fire.
What's the most ridiculous thing to be not lethal?
Acid.
I mean, acid.
Immediately,
Fireball.
this training arrow just slams the sorcerer right in the chest, just right here. Immediately, he's on the ground. I rolled an 8 on a d8.
Hey, I
He has 8 health.
Hey. I
So
would be down.
immediately the sorcerer is down, and everybody in their party just kind of looks at each other, and the paladin's like,
They're
like
just
he doesn't have anything ready.
He
So,
has land hands, you can technically bring him back, but
he just kind of he's not ready. It just started. He's not doing anything.
ready?
Go. So basically, at the end of the round,
Complete.
somebody will come out, get whoever's down, and then bring them back, and they'll kind of just have them by the closet and heal them.
You have to pause in between rounds, so even
Yeah.
if the barbarian's holding an axe to throw the sorcerer, he can't attack.
okay. Wait.
All right. Who's second?
I believe I am
The
second.
sorcerer was second.
Oh wait, what number am I?
Oh yeah.
Well, the sorcerer's down.
I'm flip.
So, and what would you
Okay,
do?
so should we attack or should we wait to see if they
So
will?
you are here.
I mean, we could try and.
Take out the smaller party though.
Take out the party.
Any of
with the
those
paladin.
healers?
They have a paladin.
Paladins. So if we can
Aaron.
take them out, then they can't get back
Wait,
up.
your paladin's very tanky.
Just realized that my cleric in your party is Aaron, but now the paladin here is Aaron. Didn't mean to do that. Anyway.
Here, as long as we stay at least roughly 30 away from that group, they won't be able to attack. Most of them probably won't be able to attack us right away.
5, 6,
Here,
7.
I'm gonna use my bow.
So you're like 35 feet away?
Yeah. How far away can I attack with my bow?
Yes.
You can hit them.
The entire room.
Okay.
Except for like if they're directly over here, but you're wrong.
Okay, I'll attack the paladin with
Ready?
my short bow. Let's roll. That is a 6 plus 11.
11 does not hit. He just kind of watches it go over his shoulder.
What happens if you tie them? I don't remember.
Attack wins.
Okay.
So
Tie wins. Which one?
The attack.
Okay.
The attacker.
You gonna do anything else?
I guess I'll
You can use the bonus action to. Oh, that is level 2.
okay,
Oh man, I'm so
I'll
used to rogues being high level.
Yep.
I'll
man.
just stay where I am.
Alright.
Don't got nothing.
I'm real level 1.
Your action. Man. Alright.
Okay.
It is sharp.
Do we all get our stuff classes at 3? Or?
Who did you go for?
I went for that guy because he can heal the one that's dead.
How far away is he?
From you?
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of 7. So 35 feet, you're 30
I
feet.
can't hit you without getting closer.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
25.
you're short.
No, can't get to the
We
end.
could try and
You can't
turtle.
reach anybody.
We could try and turtle, see if they
You could sit there
Okay.
and wait for someone to run at you.
What weapons do you have? I think you have something you can throw,
I
but I could be
have-
wrong.
I don't.
I have a dagger.
Why do you have a dagger?
I don't know.
Alright. Oh yeah, because
Birds.
bards just kind of get daggers.
Mm.
Daggers.
This is a
I have
training.
a guitar and a dagger. I'm not throwing my guitar, that's a hand.
Yeah.
Wait, but
Boomerang!
she's not really using that though, right? I mean,
guitar hammer.
yeah, we're
That's
still
right.
saying.
Guitar hand, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I
It
don't
doesn't matter.
think- I don't think you'd actually have
We're not taking away from it. That would be
Wow.
stupid. Wait, don't you have like vicious mockery or something?
Yeah.
You can laugh
You
at
have
their
spells.
clothes.
You're short!
The sorcerer, like they're all wearing white, all 4 of them. The sorcerer's got like a bloody nose because he just got slammed in the chest and he's immediately unconscious, basically unconscious, like he's
You'll
laying
be
on the
you
ground
next.
like outright, and he's got a little bloody nose, and it's
Oh,
put on his shirt a little
That's just
bit.
mean.
Oh, I'm down.
Roast
So, if I said it making fun of the sorcerer, would it hurt anyone else, or would it just hurt the sorcerer?
It's,
Your buddy's got blood on his face.
Look at your brother, he's such an embarrassment. Like,
Dad, he's almost as bad as you.
oh.
That was awesome.
I'll just.
That was such. Okay.
What are you?
I'll just move forward like 10 feet. That's 2 spaces, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't get too far away from us.
Bad?
I'm guessing you're facing them.
Yeah.
Alright. While I'm thinking of not open the
I
phone.
just want to get close enough to like bash their kneecaps into the back.
Unacceptable choice.
4, 5.
Somebody?
Oh,
Rogue.
oops.
Elbow.
So the
Oh, man, like,
sneaky rogue who was sweeping up all
is
of
that 8?
I think so.
Yes.
You're number 8.
he was sweeping up all that glass earlier in the cafeteria. He's got his hood up, but you kind of just see he finally pushes his hood back and just jet black hair that's down to here. It's like on just the sides, or immediately down the middle. He hates it, but it's down the middle. He pushes his hair back, and then he just kind of pulls out one of his 2 daggers and just throws it immediately at the bard.
Ooh.
He's throwing it from the back.
I like this. I like this. I like this.
Roll. Hit.
Okay. That probably hits. If I was
What is this?
That's a 24 to hit. You rolled a 19.
Dude, we're
Oh,
this
dude,
poor
I rolled
team.
high stats for some of these guys.
This poor team's just gonna die before they can move.
I don't think he can quite kill
What
the
is it?
or knock unconscious the bard.
Yeah, probably will take them out this
He
high.
can't quite knock unconscious the bard. It's fine. He does 5 damage, so the bard has half of the
I
spell.
mean, that team might go for this.
I mean, they did just bloody up.
Yeah, they
both
just
their teammates.
shot their friend in the face.
You kind of upset.
How dare you?
You never have a pencil.
Oh, everyone.
Of all of the things.
Yeah,
Right.
dagger throw.
It has this weird thing in it that just moves back and forth.
Well,
And
that's fun.
no, throughout like all of school, I was just like
You
that.
still have that?
Yes.
I'm proud.
Well, I mean, I
Alright,
just
so
move it back and forth. But
the dagger, it's a wooden one, so it doesn't like pierce. It just kind of slams him, and he just kind of.
Bonk.
And
My
focuses.
burn.
So that
I'm
was
cool, dude.
5 and 6. Alrighty, so Doran.
Okay. I was gonna stay here,
Well,
but
we may want to.
this group. Yeah.
They're very strong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the which one?
That's the barbarian.
The barbarian. Oh no.
Proceeds to rush the barbarian. Interesting maneuver.
7. And then I'm gonna roar.
No, it just sprints up.
Both of them, these two, and
This is practice,
these
right?
too far away. Both of those two need to make a
Okay,
DC 12 Wisdom save or be frightened of me.
Let's see, it's the barbarian and the fighter. So blue's barbarian.
Yeah.
So wisdom,
Yeah, unless they have negatives.
12, and
Decent.
fighter, 12.
That's fine.
They both
They both rolled 12, and neither of them had a plus.
Ah.
Okay, and then I'm gonna attack the barbarian.
Alrighty.
That's a very unimpressive roar.
Oh,
I mean, they've
11.
heard it. They've heard it before.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
They're like, we're not impressed.
Hey, wait, I could.
Not this time.
That's up.
Not this time, Elizabeth. We're gonna strike some.
Alright.
Minor illusion to make them hear another roar.
Well, we could try and make Oh, should, if you went first, I would say use minor illusion to try and get them to
Aaron
start
is
only
going
fights.
to go ahead and he's gonna. He looks kind of like he feels bad about it, but he's gonna charge at you anyway, Sean.
Oh boy.
Like, he's twice your height, but he's gonna run right up to you. He's 30 feet.
We're doing diagonal movement.
Yeah. For it.
5.
So he gets right up to you and he's gonna swing his warhammer at you.
Aha.
So which die is that using? Hang on,
Don't
using this one.
split up.
Is it?
Do you have any healing magic?
Probably not.
That's a 15
Okay,
to hit.
so
I What's your AC?
It's
Nope,
13.
Wow.
Let's hit. Alrighty.
How much does it hurt?
I don't know.
Probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Well, does he have a shield?
He has a shield.
That's a D.
How much health do you have?
Oh, that's always a good
Is it
sign.
being a DM?
11.
Well, if you only had 3.
Am I not bad?
What if you had 0?
No.
He has a
Then I-
plus 3.
Mm.
Oh.
So
Ouch.
you're on the ground. Are you gonna signal to them that you? I don't know if you would have noticed. Yeah.
No,
You would have had to
noticed. There's
dash
no way I
over.
would have noticed that.
Yeah.
Panic.
Right.
I just would
But
go for
it's-
Elizabeth, just like.
I'm like,
You see
immediately.
Shumpert forward and just get jump.
I can easily get forward,
Right.
but be taken to. I'm not
No,
going
just
to.
look at
I'll
Elizabeth
take
with
that.
both hands.
So immediately he hits you, and then he just. And like you're not unconscious, but you're on the ground. Like you're like, ow.
Did
That really stinking hurt. So you're laying there.
Why did I explode?
Alright. That's all he's gonna do, but he looks like he feels really bad. So Elizabeth, it's your turn now.
Oh boy. So you know how I have this table? Well, it's time to use a first level spell.
Oh snap!
Alright, what first level spell are you gonna
Chromatic
use?
Orb, but that's the only damage one I have. So
Alright.
let's decide. I'm gonna use a lightning version. Should I roll Chromatic Orb accuracy first? Okay. 10, that's 14.
And you're going for Paladin?
Yeah.
Does not hit.
Things are not going well.
Paladin's got a high AC.
Am I rolling then?
Yep.
Wild magic? Okay.
Go for it.
9. You can't speak for the next minute. Whenever
Well,
you
that
try,
Wait, okay, wait.
Here, wait,
bubbles
listen.
float out of your mouth.
Does your magic have a verbal thing?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Verbal component?
Some of them
Chromatic
do.
Orb does.
Yeah, so now you can't cast it.
So now,
Mm.
I would spend the time on other people's turns,
Mm.
looking and seeing if there are
What?
spells that don't.
What else can go wrong?
You have a quarterstaff?
I have exactly one spell I can use.
Okay, here's what
Minor illusion.
Here's what we have done. Miss, die, and miss.
But don't worry, I can now make bubbles out of my mouth.
That's good. Yes.
Oops.
I just look over, bubbles.
Good at parties.
Are you gonna move or no? Or are you gonna stay there?
Well, if I move the other way, there are
I guess
a bunch
I'm
of
moving.
large, intimidating
I'm gonna
figures.
go back for a jump.
Well, I mean,
Okay. So you're standing like right by the teachers. So you just kind of nod at them. They're like standing basically in the closet. The clerics were there. Are you gonna move? You could
well,
like
shouldn't
move
be
further.
making
in the corner.
a death saves or not
Yeah.
real death, obviously, but
It's no. They just kind of have them like
Really?
they're like, all right,
Unconscious.
you would have died from that.
You can
Just
deal
laying
with
there.
that.
You would be unconscious, just lay on the ground. Like, they keep you conscious. It's non-lethal. You're not actually bleeding. So
this is what we didn't want to happen. One down, split
yeah,
up.
immediately. All right. So it's 8. Where's 9?
I don't know.
9
Is it
oh,
egg?
That's the whammy.
Egg.
The whammon. let's just cover that page. You don't see that page. Okay.
What page? Look for the page.
I mean,
I don't think
actually,
it's
you don't know anything about that page.
But I do know anything about that page. It is in fact a page. Checkmate.
Alrighty. I need that.
Come on, Nick.
Mm-mm.
I do need that.
No, you don't.
Fine. Can you?
That's
What do you need?
I'm deciding. I actually don't know yet. Where is she?
Is
We
it
decided Thunderwave's a cone, yeah.
is it a spell?
Well, it's not a cone. It is.
Yes.
It's in front of you, and
Alright.
it's a
So that's
15
Ray
foot
Frost
range.
now.
But Ray Frost needs voice.
She has voice.
She has a voice.
Yeah, she has a voice.
Like, Elizabeth, what did
Yeah,
you
she's
do?
fine.
Yeah.
Alright. So, I just kind
There's no time for parlor tricks.
of, she's just gonna kind of
She's attacking
turn.
us.
She's
I'm trying to think,
lost
there's, like, one person's down on hers, one's on the other.
Hey, Trump, you okay?
No. I'm trying to decide who she's actually gonna go for.
Trump.
Alright. She's gonna go for the cleric because,
That seems intimidating.
yeah, basically. So she's gonna use Ray Frost next.
Jocks are gonna win, guys. Jocks
She
are gonna win.
rolled 3. Ooh. And there's something added to that. Do I remember what it is? No.
How
Do
long
I
is it?
care at the moment? No.
How long's the
Here you go.
turn?
6 seconds.
Oh. Alright, I just gotta get through 10 turns.
10 full-on rounds.
So
Oh,
10
no.
of everyone going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but
Said for a minute, right?
Yep.
Yep.
you could use like minor illusion to try and help us, right? Maybe, I don't know.
Your mom's
Good.
I mean,
Okay, she was 9.
if he uses that, could we get like
Alright, so
advantage or
10
something?
is the bard.
You can use the help action.
Yeah.
You can use dodge.
Get help.
Yeah.
I'd let
Help
you distract, but it
help
wouldn't be
grants
making
advantage.
sound.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd let you be like, you're making a distraction and that's your way of helping.
But you have to be within 5 feet of the person. you're
Butter.
Yeah. And you have to be like doing something silent and just be like pointing at the bubbles. Something like that. Yeah, it's your bard's turn.
Rock.
We have made a terrible mistake.
I need that again.
Ray
Maybe.
Frost?
No, it's a book. Actually, Shane Perry remembers Vicious Mockery.
All spells can hit everybody in this room.
What's the damage on it?
A D4.
Okay. No, that's not bad.
And they
That's
have to make a wisdom save.
fine. So basically-
No, they have to make a wisdom save, and that's how much damage, if it does damage or not.
Okay.
It's not an attack roll.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and use
And have
his-
disadvantage on next attack roll.
So he saw that Egg's thing just kind of didn't work and it just immediately hit the ground. Kind of by his feet. Like it hit like here and he just feels kind of bad, so he's gonna immediately go for the cleric. Yeah.
He's gonna yell at the cleric.
And he's just gonna go, you know, you're really big for you
A
existing.
mama's boy. Is this
We're big for
And the fire
boy. Everyone around him
You don't look so tough.
just minor
Sup, guy?
Wait, what's something that makes noise?
My solution does.
Alright.
Minor illusion behind you.
15, and then the DC's what? I don't know.
Spellcasting, as a bard.
Minor illusion
Yeah.
to make it so that
Plus
they hear more
proficiency.
insults.
So it's 8 or 10 plus that.
Whatever they're.
Like 8 or 10 plus.
The DC would be 8 plus the
Okay.
modifier plus.
So the barbarian. That's what comes up. That's the sound. The barbarian just.
That's the sound when the bubble
Cleric
pops.
just kind of smiles. It didn't affect him at all. Okay, so that is number 10. Do we have an 11 or is it back at the beginning of the round? Do we have an 11? Alright. Oh no, it's the cleric.
Back
Alright.
in the barbarian.
Go back to the cleric's page again. Alright. So, alright, we're gonna go cleric. Man, they have too many existences, and I didn't use these spells.
Take your fun.
Yeah, I just didn't choose the cleric's cantrips at all.
Kunai with a chain.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and just. He has his mace out, so he's going. Just because. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's gonna hit the bard.
Bonk.
Because the bard just kind of tried to attack him.
I don't think that one's hitting.
That's an 8 to hit. That's,
I hope they don't have 8 armor class when
No.
I'm unarmored at 11.
some people, man, they're not very dexy.
Oh,
So,
Sierra.
so he swings and just completely misses. The barbarian, then he is holding a great axe, and he's gonna go ahead and take a swing at you, Dorn.
You don't scare me.
Alright, that's an 18 to hit.
Alright,
Bonk.
Please don't die.
That is
I'd like to attack.
8 damage. 8 slash.
No,
You've had worse.
you dead.
No!
I'm still.
Alrighty. So it's back to the hits.
Now we're back in the top. Yep.
Alrighty, so number 1.
That guy. Now I might be done.
Hey, Shump, you okay?
Alright, the fighter.
Yes.
She's asking if you're okay too. There's in bubble.
Fighter's gonna go ahead. Yeah, he's gonna take a swing at you.
Ba. Ha ba
Since he's
ba.
right there.
Ha ga 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 ga.
It's 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, that is.
No.
I can do that.
You didn't say that.
I did.
It's 4 damage? I don't know.
Is that
Oh crap!
Oh, no!
I see
Even
Doran go down.
Oh no! I rolled that just because
Just look at
like, it was a
Elizabeth.
7 and a 1.
I look at Elizabeth again. Just
yeah, I didn't, pretty sure there wasn't anything I could.
Probably not. He has a +3, and it's gonna be 1 no matter what.
Yep.
We
Okay, so,
surrender.
There's one. Okay.
Come on,
Like,
We can
closer.
do one.
these big
There's
guys,
something
they
we
seem
can
like they feel bad every time somebody's down. Like, they don't want to hurt people.
do. Okay.
Also, new round.
So,
on
yeah,
the
so he was just kind of taken off immediately because they weren't going to heal him. And they were about to go and get Shump because Doran had, like, said he would heal, and then they saw this happen, they just, wait, and then they went and got Shump. Because they know nobody else in your party can heal. They're going to move Doran so he
At the
doesn't get
same
stepped
Oh
on. Yeah.
crap. Okay, wait. There is one. We
We're
can.
really good at this.
What's that?
Alrighty, so.
So it's my turn, right?
I did it.
2
You are
no.
number 3. Yeah, 2's unconscious, so
Wait,
yeah.
where's one?
1 already went. 1's the fighter.
Oh, he
So
went.
you're over here. Yep.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to walk towards the paladin. I'm going to say, hey, both of our teams are not doing so well. What if, for a bit, we team up on those guys?
Roll persuasion.
Yeah, okay. I have a plus.
Because you saw the remorse in his eyes when he
I got +4, so that is
knocked
a
Shump
17.
down. He just looks at you.
Okay.
And he just
Sweet.
kind of nods.
Take my bow and I'm gonna shoot whoever just hit. Wait, who had the cross? Okay, let's see.
He's the one who just knocked Doran out.
And wasn't he also the one with the crossbow?
Okay, that was me.
Multiple
So
have
I'm
been
gonna
crosses.
shoot him with my
Alright.
bow. Let's roll for that. Okay, that's a 9. It's a 12.
What do you need to throw a dagger at someone? Like, proficiency
A
in
dagger.
Simple weapons.
I think you have some on
I'm
it.
pretty sure
I don't remember.
what? Does that mean it'd have to be a dagger here on
Yeah.
the list?
Sure,
Okay.
would you roll?
Nice.
I rolled a 12.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, that does not make. So just kind of hits by his foot. Ready? Number 3.
I'm playing battle music on my lyre. I got a 23
Yes.
performance.
It's epic. Like,
Inspiration
there's some really
and
great
improvement.
Fast.
Ready?
Whatever you want to put that in.
Here, wait. Do I still get?
It's just Wii music.
See what, Drew?
Do I have any movement left? Do we know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna move like right here because she's kind of less armor.
Yeah. So, you were 3, 4 is unconscious, 5 is the
Wait.
rogue. So, Mitch,
You can't see my face. There's a
Skinny
3 in
boy.
front of
he is going to step over here, couple, and he's going to walk right to you. Yeah, let's go with. I want him to be able to see people. Yeah. He's going to come right here. He's going to throw a dagger at you.
No egg.
it. What?
It's gonna hit her. It's gonna hit her. Yeah, that's 15 to hit her, 10 AC.
Funk.
So,
Is she dead too?
we'll find out.
Hey,
There's
join the
there's-
club.
There's no way.
Actually, wait, I'm not.
She's a wizard. They have 0 health.
You're dead. Okay.
Where's she?
Okay,
has
this
1 health.
team has gone
She's still
on
up?
a rampage.
Yeah. It was 6 damage, and she has 7 health.
Oh.
So she looks like she's really hurt, and like she's already pretty small. She's kind of like standing a little shorter now. Right, that's all the rogue's gonna do. He's just happy he hit somebody and like actually did damage. All right, so number 6 is out. Number 7 is the paladin.
You have to wait a minute.
Number 3,
I'm assuming I could hit anyone there with a dagger throw.
So it's hey, for sneak
not
attack.
anybody.
Yeah,
not
behind
those
the, not behind
Yeah.
the spirit, but yeah.
Actually, only dagger's only 20 feet.
No.
two. There you go.
So with sneak attack, it's if I can do it if there are 2 people. If there's another fighter. What about with like a bow or something? Okay, just want to make sure.
And
All right,
there
so
has to be
paladin.
an ally next to them.
Now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
these 3 would, well, he would count as your ally. The other 2 didn't.
For
Okay,
now.
yeah. Yes. 1. And I'm gonna let that count. 2, 3, 4, 6. He's gonna go right up to the fighter. Take a swing.
You got this, Aaron.
This one.
Aaron. Ooh.
That's a 20 total. That's definitely gonna hit.
Yeah.
So D8 plus 3, 9. And
Bonk.
you have 3 health. Oh man. Why do these people have so much health?
They're all beefy boys.
Oh yeah. But none of them have range except for the rogue. And she's not even. Yeah.
Okay, so you have proficiency with simple weapons, right?
So 8.
Would she be able to
I can't
take
see
my
yours.
daggers on her?
I actually
You
have
are
2
brave.
daggers.
Oh, you already have them. Sweet.
Yeah.
You're gonna break. So go ahead and.
I'm assuming if I was blind, I couldn't throw at the person in front of him.
Good if you stand.
How much range does daggers have?
20.
23. I mean, if you do that, you might get hit.
Yeah, you would. If you were behind Paladin, you would not be able to. He's 6'2". I don't know how tall you decided
If
you
I'm
are.
standing
but
here,
you're
can
not.
I hit him?
Yeah.
I can't see where things are.
Try not to die.
Going to die.
Before you
You're
attack,
Yeah.
James, before you attack, make a cool one-liner. The coolest.
18.
The barbarian.
Yeah.
You gotta do like a.
Oh yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. So you roll a d4 plus your dexterity.
+1. I mean,
The paladin's like, he's like, okay, the defendant. Ooh, look, bubbles. That's it.
oh yeah, I just landed
The
3
barbarian
damage.
is now at 12 health instead of 15.
And I have now angered the barbarian.
Okay.
With
you were
how much
8.
health?
I cannot see
I have
numbers.
8.
Aggies
But I
9.
did damage. That's better than anyone else so far on our team.
I have a stupid plan. What is hiding?
You can't hide in this room.
Oh crap.
You would have to hide behind someone
They
and then
trained.
it wouldn't work very well.
Yeah, one.
Let's see.
Just looks over where the dagger came from.
No, they look around. They just see me like.
Alright. Egg just go for the rogue.
Talking bad crap.
And she definitely hit with that ray of frost. Damage, 28 again.
Who's taking 1d8?
The rogue. Yeah. So, rogue takes 2 damage. You can take that back.
Yeah.
Crap. Wait, the sorcerers dealt the most damage, and that was not using a spell. That was
Sorcerer did the most damage
Oh, yeah.
using a
Don't
rogue
use that
tactic.
sword.
Alright, so now it's the bard's turn.
The sorcerer did the most damage using a rogue tactic.
Alright.
Run away!
Alright, the bard's gonna vicious mockery because he just saw the rogue get hit, he's gonna try on the rogue. Rogue makes whatever that's called. A save.
Sneaky biggy like. Ryu, Gawaga, Tiki Wo, Kural.
What?
The rogue was
Okay,
making a
forward.
wisdom save and I rolled a 19 and
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
used. Apparently the rogue was really wise on that one. So it, the bard just ha! You got hit with a dagger
Yes.
and the bard just or the rogue just
Yes.
yeah.
You're about to get hit with a dagger.
Do we have an 11 on here? Or just,
11 is
Oh yeah.
is that 11? Okay, there's so many people.
Yeah. 3 teams of 4.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
If we're gonna help out Egg and them, we might be able to keep them in the fight a bit longer. Because I don't want to fight 4 of them.
Alright, he's gonna go ahead
I don't see at this
Sacred
point. I'm
Flame
talking
is-
to James.
Does he roll?
We do two-
Sacred Flame. Alright. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and do that.
Oh.
The cleric's gonna go ahead and use Sacred
Roll for
no,
intimidation
he's
because
right
of the
against
pink
somebody. He's
bubbles.
gonna use his man.
No, make an especially big bubble.
Alright, he hits the bard.
Intimidation.
Alright. Bard is
Sparkly
now
pink bubble.
unconscious.
I mean, I'd be pretty spooked.
Oh, crap. That's another one of our teammates.
Hey, that's
Well,
right.
they didn't know that they were
Teammates.
helping you. The paladin knows that he's helping you.
Dude, Egg is so screwed over there.
Nonsense.
She has 1 health, and she's like,
Just throwing out the dagger.
and
or
then
something.
I can never remember. Is there 12? Or,
Yeah.
Okay. Barbarian.
The person that hit with the dagger.
And need to pull up some music for when it's time.
He's gonna go ahead and swing at the paladin with his great axe.
While the paladin's getting hit.
So 22 to hit.
Come on, we need that guy for my sneak attack.
Can't read. It's a d12.
Oh, oops, actually.
Mm.
Yes.
Is he dead? Is he dead? We need that guy.
His body is getting launched.
We need that guy for my
It's
sneak attack.
12. Wait, let me. I'm 98% sure that he's unconscious.
No, this is gonna
Looks
hurt.
like you're flying.
He's unconscious by 1. If it would have been an 11, he wouldn't be unconscious right now. But he is. This big paladin just. And like, there's a very loud clatter from his.
Well, I have good news. You're gonna have one more chance to do damage, and that's because they're going for me first, most likely.
I mean, if I can.
Alright.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
now we're back at the top of the round.
I
So it's the fighter.
was planning on trying to. Oh, great.
That's the fighter. Just ignores me. Go straight for Drew.
You know,
Wait,
I didn't expect that group to be the group that's doing well. I'm gonna be honest.
A bunch
I
of
didn't
burly
think my
guys.
stats were all that great. Now I look at them and, okay, maybe.
A bunch of burly guys. No, they aren't good.
So the fighter looks pretty hurt. He's gonna go ahead.
has there been a single not one shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
Oh, wait, you're
Yeah, it's a fighter.
Wait, have you. Wait.
The fighter still has
And
3
the
health.
And the egg.
An egg.
Oh.
And me.
Yeah.
It took 2 hits to take me out.
So he's
Wait,
gonna
that
just
hit?
kind of pull out his hand crossbow. It's
Oh.
already like on his side.
Alright, but they.
And he's
ganged
gonna
up
shoot
on
at you, Elizabeth.
Oh, who'd have guessed?
Hello?
That's not low.
Come on, guys.
Does 23 hit?
No.
Oh, okay, my bad. Alright. How much health do you have right now?
8.
It's a D8. That's 5 damage.
Yes.
You're still conscious.
There's an arrow sticking out.
It's just they're like the rubber tipped ones, so it kind of hits you and it really hurts, man. But it falls. It's like when a Nerf dart hits you, but it's one of the big ones. It's like that.
That's not.
The ones that actually hurt.
Hide in the
It's
corner.
like a
So-
paintball gun.
It's
Oh, then it would be your turn.
Yes, it would.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe if I can get the attention from that guy, maybe Aggie can do something. I don't know.
Or you could deal with the 2 people who are going to WM1 at us.
I mean, they will, but wait.
Double your daggers.
The
What time?
fighter.
How much? What? Where are you on initiative?
Pretty sure 8.
Eight? Okay, so-
Egg is 9. There
Okay, so
5.
that guy's at low health, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the one who just hit me.
I'll just trench him with my bow again. I swear. That is a 21, not natural.
The only
Well,
one with
yeah,
any
that's-
adventuring experience.
that's
It
gonna
shows.
Here,
Finally hit
These
something.
two.
Yes!
These 2 are very hurt. He's not at all. Or he's barely
Okay, so
hurt.
I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Alrighty?
So this would be 1d6 plus 3.
Yeah, he's unconscious.
It's a total of 4.
He's unconscious.
Okay, ah!
He had 3 health.
We took him down!
Yeah.
The fighter's unconscious.
I look at you, I'm like, teamwork!
I forgot to pause and have people brought off the. He's the only one who's unconscious.
How about
Around it.
you run?
And since they're right by the door, they just kind of slowly pull him
Is
off.
anyone else in between Elizabeth and my turn and Elizabeth? At this point,
Oh, I
I
forgot how
can't do
heavy
anything.
that thing is. Pretty good. What?
8.
5.
I mean, it looks like she's going for an egg, so maybe. I mean, maybe you could give me advantage with the illusion. I mean, sneak attack works if I have advantage. How does sneak attack work? There are like 2
You have
things.
advantage. Or there's an ally next to them.
Hey, maybe. I mean, even then, you just. I don't know. I'm pretty much screwed in this fight.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
It's up to the dice.
6.
I don't know what the text was. Okay. It's just Morgan. Alright.
Whose turn is it?
It's the rogue's
It's been
turn.
12 seconds.
Let's see.
Now at the end of this, you're just gonna
Yeah,
be.
the rogue's gonna go for Elizabeth because she's right there.
Uh-oh.
And he's kind of taking it as a joke, but he's still gonna try and hit you.
Bubbles. Come on, roll a 1.
He's gonna swing with a dagger. That's 10.
Yes! You missed!
So he just kind of slashes and he trips a little bit because he was kind of laughing. Like he goes for this swing.
Bubble in his eye.
Yeah, it goes right in his face, and he laughs a little bit. But it's a bubble.
There
It's a
seems
bubble
to
in your eye. It
be
hurts.
an enemy right next to it.
The enemy.
Okay, but you gotta get away from that guy. That guy's
Alright.
Yeah, but I
So
can't
now
move away from him
It
immediately.
is your turn. You can use your action to. That's a 9.
It's a 9?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that might be a 6. I don't know.
Egg?
Egg.
Eggs
That
is
guy's
Egg.
hurt.
Eggs is in there.
Okay.
How much damage can you do with your
I
staff?
don't know, but I'm swinging with the staff.
Oh snap.
I don't remember.
On the
It
head.
should say right beside it.
Well, 1d6.
And there you go. That's how much damage it will do.
Oh, it's only 12.
It does not hit.
Do I need to start the dodging music?
Alright, so it is now Egg's turn.
Gonna fire more bubbles at him.
What's the range on Thunderwave?
Oh, that's good.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No,
If it's
just
not, she
randomly,
moves a little
it's
closer.
just gonna. Your voice is just going. Lucas, you don't understand. We're kind of gonna die.
15 foot cube.
Die.
50 foot cube?
I'm firing bubbles out of my mouth.
He cannot speak. He can only shoot bubbles out of his mouth.
It's
He
very
rolled bad. Well,
Well,
honestly, it could have been
well,
worse.
I could have fireballed
Well, I
myself.
I mean,
Is it 15 feet from the center?
pretty bad, but
From
not
where
the
she is.
worst.
So yeah.
So, from the center of the napkin. If I
This is a
put
training
it in the
fight.
middle of one.
Her
This is where it is.
person was knocked down 1 hit because we're
The
all
napkin
level
is the
1.
perfect
So it could
size.
This guy was
Here
ganged
and
up on by like
15
2 people.
Yeah.
My guy has
she's-
been missing like every arrow he's tried to
Oh,
shoot.
okay. It would do that.
To 15 foot
And
cube
he
originating
has
from
lost the
her.
ability to speak,
That's fine.
making him
That's
unable to
fine.
cast most of his spells.
She is gonna.
I was also the first person to land an attack
With a knife.
on our team. And then he finally picked up his weight.
Yeah. Wait, how much damage did you deal?
3.
Oh, I got 1 more.
Oh man, you
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 on
She's gonna do
how
something
much
dangerous
damage.
because she's already at 1 health and she doesn't care. So she's gonna step right there and use Thunder Wave. I don't remember how much damage it does. Hits both of them, and then you're on this square. Just
15 foot cube. It's only 3 squares.
it's only 3 squares.
That big.
Oh, it's that. Okay. No, she's
It's
just.
not a radius.
Okay, she was over here. She's just gonna stand here then and hit him.
No, Thunder
It's a
Wave.
dex save, right?
Constitution save.
Con save.
Listen, the good news is you can
It's a
still
fire.
get a decent distance away and then fire at the.
I couldn't.
That's beautiful. What?
Hmm?
It's a con save. If he rolled a 2, he has a +2.
Was a.
So he
Why
doesn't
would you
save.
come-
What's the damage on that? Alright.
2d8, and he is pushed 10 feet away.
Oh.
That's 8. He has 2 health.
Nice.
Listen, you just gotta pull out your League of Legends tactics.
And
I never
she
played
looks
Legends.
like she's worn out. Like
Just kite.
she's already really hurt, and then she just did that.
That's what I was going to do.
Let's see. So it's the cleric's turn. No, he's gonna die fire because that just happened. So he's just gonna immediately. He said a 10. I don't know what number that is. That's 5. Remember. Yeah, so it's his turn.
Not
He's
a
gonna
big
immediately.
attack, you should have.
He's gonna immediately run
Okay, if you can
At
stay alive, I
her.
can sneak attack that guy.
and go for egg.
I'm pretty sure the fighter goes before you.
Yeah, I know, but
It's
if
over
you
there.
can stay alive from this.
Yeah,
No.
he definitely hit egg. And she only has 1 health.
He's yours.
So I'm not even rolling damage.
Before
She's
the
unconscious.
barbarian over there?
Yeah.
In the corner?
He has a turn between, but
Yeah.
Alright, so it is now the barbarian's
Well, the barbarian's just gonna run at Drew.
turn. You're closer.
I can
I
dodge.
know.
Oh,
So,
no. Oh no.
1, 2, 3. Going for Elizabeth. He,
Dude, do you want me to start the dodge?
he's going with great axe. Should I wait for you to get that up, Drew?
Do a dodge!
I'm not dodging. I'm pretty sure I'm literally just dead now.
Don't worry, I
What
shall
happened?
avenge.
It was a nat 20.
Ah.
Here, do you want me to roll
Okay.
damage anyway? How much health do you have?
How much
I'm
damage
the
can you
only
minimum
one left.
on the normal roll?
4.
No, I can't live.
If I roll a 1, no.
No.
Double that.
Yeah. So 12
Oh.
plus
yeah.
2.
Oh yeah, then it could have lived, but no.
I would be scared if I wasn't
Right.
guaranteed to win.
One less bubble.
So this was I mean, you're still conscious. You're just in a lot of pain. Like you just got slammed with a wooden great axe.
I mean,
Right.
I
actually,
tried to scream, nothing comes out, just
All right.
free.
So it is now your turn.
And
Owen.
you can
Okay,
run away.
here's what I'm gonna
So
do.
it's you
So
and 3 of the party.
yeah, you can try to take one of them out. You can run a decent distance away and then shoot the bow at the thief or whatever they are called.
True.
Yeah, I forgot names.
Can I attack and then run, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll try and shoot the rogue
Through the bubble I just made as I went
through the
down.
bubble. Yes. Let's see. That is a 4.
Well, you didn't even hit the bubble.
What's your? You said a 4 plus.
That's a 9 then.
I don't know. That doesn't hit, unfortunately.
Well,
Now you run.
I'm
So
a.
that's the rogue. And he. I'm not gonna have him step over Elizabeth because he feels really rude about that. So 1.
I feel pretty bad
Nice.
if I feel pretty bad if he just walks
Five,
someone else's
6.
basher.
So there's
against the
1
wall.
square in between. No, he can move 1 more. Whoop!
Well,
No.
Oh no.
don't
So
worry.
he's
I'm
right
a
up
master.
beside you.
GG. Well,
So he's gonna try and swing his dagger at you.
There's no chance he can hit me.
Stop talking about
Yeah, I
that.
know.
How could you do this?
I
Why
like.
can't I roll this normally?
I like talking. I knew it. Yeah.
And
This
go
is what
powerful.
happens.
Oh dear, this is why fudging rolls is a thing.
Yes.
Alright!
Elizabeth lays on the ground screaming, but no noise comes out, just bubbles. Oh?
That's 5 damage.
Ow! I'm at 4.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I rolled a 1 on the d4.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, now he has to waver.
Yep.
I mean, I can be 3.
Yeah. Yeah, like just helping people out. Like there are 4 people out now. Or yeah, still live. Yes.
It's gonna hurt.
If he shoots
Alright.
ya, it's gonna hurt. Dude, good. You have experience.
Stop.
I mean,
We surrender.
Hey, I'm done.
4,
Please
5.
leave me alone.
I missed every attack against you guys except for that guy.
Alright. The cleric just moved. Barbarian.
Dan.
1, 2, 3.
Meanwhile, the Wii theme's still
He's right
playing.
beside
Do,
you.
do, do, do.
But you have a rogue right beside you.
They're all just kicking
with
the
another
crap
of
out
their
of me.
party members right beside you.
Yeah, yes, you can.
Yeah, it's not his turn yet, but
No.
it's barbarian now, so the barbarian's gonna go ahead and
There's
swing.
Surround kick.
Oh, that was almost another
What's your
14.
AC?
14.
You made it. That was
Ah!
12 to hit.
Dodge.
You're fine.
Take that. So it's my turn.
Alright, yes, it is your
It
turn.
was
Can I
almost-
switch weapons or?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna take out my sword and a knife
Swing at
because
the rogue.
honestly, at this point, if I don't take out the rogue and run away, it's not gonna work. So for the sword, that is a 20.
Whoa!
They could have rolled like this earlier.
Alright, which one are you attacking?
I'm attacking the rogue.
Yeah.
Alright, the rogue is the one that's more hurt.
Probably not smart, but okay. So that is I double the.
You double the die. Yeah, so
Okay.
roll the die and then you double that.
No.
Yeah, he's unconscious. He had 4 health.
Yeah.
Why could? Okay, so I still have my bonus attack.
Uh-huh.
So I
Roll
roll.
this before.
Okay.
And now you don't add anything to this one.
11. Okay.
Now you add your dex, so it would just be +3.
Plus 3. Oh. Okay.
That's against the.
I don't think a 14 hits the barbarian, maybe.
What?
Oh!
His AC is 14.
Oh my god.
And that is a D6 because it's a dagger.
Just 3.
That's a D4.
What? D4? Yeah.
Yeah.
D4 is there.
You said
He-
D6.
Yeah,
Oh,
you said
sorry.
D6.
And then you don't add your
D4.
dexterity modifier to this.
Well, okay.
So 3.
Seriously?
And
That's
rules
still
are
good.
weird.
That's still good though. He's at 9 now instead of
I can
12.
And now it just goes down to
So now there's the cleric and the barbarian.
Dodge.
And because they're here, they're already just pulling him off.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Got
that's the
this.
cleric now.
The weak team failed the barbarian, he couldn't hit it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Come on.
Actually, don't talk about dodging, or I'm gonna roll that 20 again.
Go on! Dodge!
Is your dice?
What? I'm rolling a different die. It's the same one.
No.
It's weighted.
Don't worry,
Shane,
I
you
got
gave me
this.
that die.
Yep.
There, that's better.
She's been
That's
cheating
an
this
8.
entire
What?
time.
Blessed you.
I mean,
See?
I
You
have
blessed me
14.
with 2 dice. The one rolls absolutely garbage, the other rolls amazing,
She's
and
been
they
cheating.
are very hard to determine.
If you roll both, then they can equal out.
She's been cheating this
Alright, so
entire
that
time.
misses. And then
But only for
the
those guys.
barbarian's gonna go swing. I hurt myself on the chair.
That's what you get for cheating. Well, that's a 19. Based.
I got this. Don't worry, I can
23 to
totally
hit.
live this.
Yeah, with only 4 health,
With
and I
only
think it
4 health,
actually has a
Where
plus
the
3.
minimum is
No, he has a +2.
Oh, excuse me.
So if I roll
one. I am at 1 health. I got this.
This is beautiful.
What is the... You're finally showing your adventuring skills.
What is Dungeons and Dragons? Alright, so
Okay.
it's your turn now.
Which one's more hurt?
The cleric.
Okay.
Oh, the
Walks him on the head.
So my sword, I'm gonna swing with a.
You don't even have to
When all of your party members are
He's
dead,
unconscious.
now you get a good roll.
He has 2 health.
Alright, so now you're swinging at the barbarian
Hey,
with
got
your
your
dagger?
Yeah, you got your second attack. I'm sending this to Steven immediately.
Okay,
No
let's.
issues, right?
10. Okay.
10
So.
But
plus...
that's another 20.
Plus what?
Your dexterity. Yeah, it's plus.
Yeah, you still get dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Okay.
one's plus 5. It's the damage that's different.
Yeah.
15.
Wait.
15, that hits.
Yeah, he had 14.
Barbarian's
This is
one
the
is
last time.
14.
Just the die.
I didn't
the
know
die.
that was plus
Okay.
five.
Okay, that was a weird roll.
No, that's
It's
fine. That's how
still-
D4s roll.
Yeah,
They're
Okay.
just
those are
dumb.
dumb.
So, yes. 5.
Alright, so you just have to dodge again.
Yeah, it's you and a barbarian.
You just have to survive
So they
this.
immediately bring him out. Alright.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
1 second.
I'm gonna roll with this one that I've had sitting already.
Do it. Do it.
No, you got it.
That's a 17 to
It
hit.
doesn't matter the damage.
Yeah.
He is
Now.
Good comeback.
And that was amazing. As soon as he does it, he feels bad, and he's trying to help you up, but you're really hurt, so you're not wanting to stand. So he basically just lifts you, takes you over the cleric teacher and the druid.
Wow.
And
They heal you.
this entire time, I've still been talking in bubbles.
Yeah. And they've healed everybody, so you're the last one to heal, and then they heal the barbarian because he's already hurt. Everybody's back at full. Alright, you don't get any spells back yet.
That's
You have
what's
a select.
Slackers.
That's what sheer panic. You know.
You got so lucky on that table.
Oh, here, let's roll again.
It could have been damage
You
to
don't
him.
scare me.
It could have been damage to somebody else.
Well, that would have hit if it would have been fireball, it would have hit every single one of us. It
Just
would have
one
killed
shot all of
entire
us. We're dead immediately.
Alright, that was fly. Fly on a random creature within 60 feet of you.
That would have been fun.
So,
Well then.
You
That
told us
was-
you had experience, but that was incredible.
that was your day.
That's what sheer panic looks like.
Excellent job.
They go ahead and heal everybody. And it's not that late. It didn't actually take that
Can
long.
I make one change just for? Can I have been screaming throughout that
Yeah.
entire last fight? But like as soon as Elizabeth goes down, that just the entire fight would just see people coming.
The teachers that were there, the 4 of them are all congratulating you on how well you did. They're congratulating the barbarian.
My spine hurts.
You guys are told
I
now
got
that this is over, they were going to motivate you with food, but they're just going to give you guys special food anyway the next day for breakfast and for lunch.
I got bashed by a barbarian's one great sword. What do you mean?
They're very proud of how you guys all did. Yeah, you guys did very well. They're rewarding
We
your
all
group,
did very
and they're
well.
rewarding
Yes.
the big guys.
I did very well
They're
at
not
getting
rewarding
knocked
the rich
out.
kids because they were third. And they're still giving them the regular food. They might give them a little bit of
You
extra.
don't get anything.
But they're making you guys special.
Yeah.
Good job. You survived. Drew, you and the
Everything
barbarian are
hurts.
getting like whatever food you want.
I
You have to
Everything
ask.
hurts.
I didn't survive.
I at least
You guys
paid
still
for
get special food, but it's kind of more like, hey, I'm cooking this like really good thing I'm
Elizabeth,
really
can
good
you talk
at.
yet?
But these two are the last. So you are all healed, and I believe we're gonna end the session now with all of you going to bed or to the library if you'd like.
I'm in pain. I'm
Pain, Echo.
Yeah.
Do we love more?
Do we
Not
got some
yet.
eggs?
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
we
only
got-
been 1 week of class. It hasn't even been a week. It's been 3 days.
Hasty, aren't we?
What is